Hello and welcome back to Roll the Bones. My name is Rob, and as ever, I am joined by the immortal, unstoppable players, Mike, Matt, and Dom, and I will ask them that immortal question that lasts throughout the ages, lasts throughout time and space itself. What happened previously on Knights of the Apocalypse?
Well, you've just completely cursed us by saying we're immortal.
Yeah, you're all gonna
in
die.
this session, we're now it's going to be a TPK.
It's the end.
A big old kerfuffle.
That certainly is one word for it.
There was
we dealt with the fallout of the ambush at the Waywell.
Yep.
We did. We went back to the Graves residence.
Yeah.
And I think we ended it actually before the Graves residence. We were at the Graves residence and we met say somebody. The dude whose name
Swiftstone.
That was the previous session. No.
Yeah.
That was the session before last.
Did we not talk to Swiftstone?
A while back.
Was that
Before
before
the
the
fight.
Waywell?
Yes.
Oh, yes. I'm just going to show
We the evening was spent.
Mike, just do it. That's memories isn't good enough.
Okay. The evening was spent comforting Werner and having a drink and kind of deciding on what we were going to do the next day, which was infiltrate various parts of the castle. As sun broke, Silas did a bit more training with Werner. Hear the darkness, see the silence, I think was all that was really passed on. Bogram then had a word with Werner, though I think Werner is now starting to develop his own independence
now.
in some way. But that was all quite small, is what then led to the tricksy parts of the session, where we got back into the castle. And Bogram's idea was to stuff 2 skeletons into the bag of holding, and Ansel and Silaster would be dressed up in robes, and then using Swiftstone's diversion, we would then swap with the skeletons whilst Ansel and Silaster broke into the council tower, and Bogram spoke with dead.
Did. It gave the episode its title, for it has its own special place within the medium of D&D at the moment, thanks to the film.
Doesn't it just?
Yeah, but good to have it show up in the session for the second time.
Yeah.
What did we learn?
Well, so the session was sort of divided. We tried to divide our time a little bit between the duo that went off and did their thing, and with Bogram, who was on his own doing the questioning. So rather than keep doing it, we'll just do it in 2 halves. The questioning went really quite well, actually. I ended up asking, I think, the first questions of what did you see and hear in your dying moments. There was smoke, prescribed.
That's on the list.
Marley, that's the one. Arcane Zarya prescribed Marley, and then there was like thick smoke that felt like acid burning his lungs. When he touched something on the side table, it felt like it was burning, but that's weird because it didn't feel like all of him was burning, just when he touched something. So that's kind of a thing that's in my mind. So that gave us the idea of sort of how he was killed. We need to study what that effect could be, because he wasn't all over burned, just where he touched something in it. So and then we asked were you aware, I think, of any threat to your life? Was that the next question? I think that was the next question I asked. And basically there was a whole thing going on where the king was aware of a rise in mortality in the city. They were trying to deal with it. You gave me 4 names and I'm not putting it together.
Pride? No.
Yeah, so
Castel.
he named the lords and ladies that hold council in Valdinor. So the lords of various different houses: Pride, Casto, Muscle, and Skane. They are all just the lords, the lordly houses of Valdinor. Pride, represented by a lion, Casto, a falcon, Muscle, a pike, and Skane, a snake.
Right. Yes, of course. They all were aware that there was a magical force in the city that was causing mortality to become more of an issue, that there was something going on. The king was trying to look into it, but weirdly, Apophis, the king's first voice, that's the one, denied the problem and was sort of talking the problem down, which was very strange, given that he was normally quite intuitive of these things and open to these ideas, and it was just not like him at all. And that was sort of the last. There was. Do you know of Derek Redhaven, aka Father Wolf, aka the Bloodfather? He only knew of the Bloodfather, but he had known of it, and it was something. The name had been known to his family for generations, like gone on for a long time. So he was definitely aware of the name. I didn't get that he knew a lot about how the Bloodfather was related to the problem, but he was aware of both things, at least. So it was like on his radar. And the last question was, I actually can't remember. I've got the answer, but I can't remember how I phrased the question.
You can just give us the answer.
Yeah, it was that Apophis served faithfully for ages. He was wise here, wise counsel, but his counsel changed in recent months, and it sort of stood out to the king that something was off there, and that had come to his attention before he'd managed to sort of look into it, and then he was killed. So that kind of implicates Apophis in some way. Certainly that he is, maybe because we are aware of Redhaven and his effects, could be under the domination of a vampire, which would sort of make sense, be a really good way to infiltrate, So the questions went well, got some good answers, gained some information, have some ideas as to where to look, and then he did his job as a mortician, got everything sorted, and carried on as he should when the spell was over. And that was my side of things. Go, boys.
And everything our side of things went a lot less smoothly.
I mean, we got some results, but
It started off well.
yeah.
We got into one room.
So you went to infiltrate the tower, the council tower.
We did indeed.
Yes.
And we made our way into Apophis's room, his bedroom.
That's right.
And we discovered he's got a concubine.
Yes. Yes.
Infrequent, yes.
An infrequent concubine. Maybe concubine's not the right word, we don't really know. Lover. He's taken a lover.
Right, yeah.
Taken a lover. Oh, God.
That phrasing's fine, isn't it? Wasn't it?
There's nothing wrong with it. It just was funny. That's all. It was just funny. Some things are funny.
We found some information in a desk and
With a secret drawer,
which we never found the use for, and it's still in Silaster's possession. Worrying.
Yeah, that is a little worrying.
What's still in your possession?
A magic key from that desk.
Yes. The one that you were like, we're definitely going to put this back. And then you didn't.
Well, the idea was we'd find the use for it and then return it. Alas, that changed when we got to the next door.
Yeah, that's what happened.
There was immediately a guard.
Immediately followed by Silaster garrotting and killing the guy. Immediately followed by a loud clatter as he didn't have enough strength to hold the body up with the garrote, which then involved the noise of another guard going, I'm going to investigate this. So, one important note, we got a gift for Bogram. We got a corpse. We stuffed the corpse into the bag of holding.
Much appreciated.
It's alright. And then that's when I think hell broke loose, basically. We tried to break into the next room.
It was a chain reaction of one thing alerting someone else and another else, and then it turned out, I think around 3 or 4 guards were alerted to your presence at one point throughout the infiltration. But rather expertly, I say expertly, deftly improvised. I think you both did really well in causing distractions to keep yourselves hidden, but also just kept like a mounting perplexity was building around the guards, and they just had no idea what was going on. They just kept hearing noises, stuff falling over, doors slamming. Eventually, they decided that they were going to guard the tower stairs, because if there was an intruder, there's only one way down in their minds. So they went to guard the stairs in the hope that they would catch you that way. What then did you discover?
I forgot. Ansel, prior to this,
Yes.
had another chat.
An experience with the Queen of the Sickle Moons.
Yes, very much so.
And was gifted a new ability of stretch Armstrong arms.
Yeah.
Except even more horrifying, if that's possible.
Stretch Armstrong, but with like joints.
Yeah.
Too many of them.
And in the course of that little chat with the Queen, he also discovered where Gower is.
Yep.
Which is the nearby mountain. He discovered where Grin is,
Yep.
which is in the sewers of the city, probably.
Yep, that's where you saw him for sure.
Yeah, and what did I... Oh, I scried on the Apophis, didn't I? And he had 4 shadows.
He did, yes. Which then led to, later on, you running into Apophis, for as you went into the council chambers, atop the council, Silaster managed to infiltrate inside, invisible, but he saw that the advisor, the first voice, was in there. What did you learn there?
Yeah, Silaster attempted to do something that he's not good with, which was lure information out of him. However, Silaster worked with his limitations, which was get him to talk, not ask the questions. Which, for the most part, didn't really give any more information than he hoped. There was a couple of risky moments where Silaster scanned a book for some information and asked a question, but instead of putting on a mysterious voice, just went, "What about this?"
Yes, yes. From under the table, a voice uttered, and
What about this?
his disposition changed rapidly. You learned a few bits from him. You learned that he was clearly under some kind of stress, and he wrecked the room.
Yeah, mentioning Derek in the end was something. Was a good move.
Meanwhile, Ansel was hanging outside a window.
That's right.
And getting locked out
Yep, you were locked
as he
out.
tried to make his way to the balcony door, so he wasn't really any help.
However, once Silaster snuck out of there and reunited with Ansel, their escape was pretty smooth.
Yeah, the escape went
Anime
okay.
awesomeness, actually. It was pretty damn cool, I thought.
Just running down the side. If not anime, think in the Spider-Man games when you run across the side of a building.
Yeah, that's really rad.
It was a good move, and Ansel just held his breath next to a corpse.
And all of the other stuff that's in that bag.
And then, yeah, you were able to reunite just in time. Bogram had been able to continue his work as a mortician. So it appeared like he was actually doing his job the whole time. And you were able to redisguise yourselves as the cloaked individuals and leave the castle. And then on your way, whilst you were having a hurried update to each other, You spotted someone, sort of like peering from around the corner of an alleyway. Who was that?
Scardy.
That shitbag.
Scardy, and that is where we will rejoin the strangers. So, I mean, listen, your appointment to do that really was the morning, so at this point we're in early afternoon at this stage, and it was, yeah, as you turned a corner, you were making your way through the streets of Valdinor, yeah, you saw the dwarf, you saw the suspicious, roguish kind of dwarf that set you on your mission to retrieve the birdcage from the Duskflower. And as he spots you, he sort of begins to sort of recoil and retreat back into the alleyway in which you had spotted him.
Do we have? I don't have any way of stopping him unless just physically chasing him, I suppose.
I saw him, but I didn't know who he was. I rolled really well and saw him, so I probably didn't even. I was just like, dwarf.
Silas will just dash.
Yep, you dash down the alleyway, and Scardy isn't running from you. He just appeared to sort of like retreat into the shadows of the alleyway. And as you turn the corner, he whirls about, and he has sort of like a wild look on his face. His eyes are wide. His beard is unkempt and tousled. You notice that he has a large bruise on one side of his face. You think he has like a tooth or two missing, and like nervously he runs his tongue over his broken teeth as he says, "Ah, it's you."
What happened that night?
I was hoping you'd be able to tell me what happened that night. I was set upon by mysterious forces. I did my best to leave a sign that I had been there. I wanted you to know that I had waited for you. I left my pipe. Did you see it?
Yes.
Yeah, you remember seeing his pipe under the cart, sort of like a sign. Well, so he says a sign to show that he'd been there.
His teeth. Do they look like they've been smashed out of his mouth or pulled out of his mouth?
Yeah, he looks like he's been battered, to be honest. But yeah, you can give me like a heal check if you want to assess like how badly he's been beaten, or.
This isn't going to go well, but I'll happily.
Oh, I can do something with that.
18.
19.
Fuck you.
Yeah, so you are looking at his teeth. Yeah, it's hard to tell that he's definitely missing a few. I think I know where you're going with this. It's hard to tell whether they've been extracted per se.
Yeah.
But he does look like he's been fairly kicked about. And has clearly gone through the ringer a little. And as you're like staring at him, he goes, "What are you staring at? Well, did you get it?"
Who is this person?
Obsidian, this is our good friend Scardy.
Okay.
It is
I'm
a pleasure.
You mentioned him.
Is he okay? He doesn't look.
Last we saw, we thought he was dead. So he's better than we thought he was.
No, not
That's
dead.
for sure.
Not dead.
I do detect undead.
You do detect undead.
Yeah.
You can just sense that, like, it's like detect magic, isn't it? You can just detect if there's any nearby in a certain area.
Yeah. I mean, I'm aiming it straight at him, so it's
Yeah.
he'll just glow. I'll just be like,
He'll look you up
okay?
and down as like your magic sort of washes over him, and he goes, "What are you doing?"
Just checking.
He does not. He appears to be well and truly alive.
Oh, well, that's good. In that case, I'm out. You guys, as you were. Just checking. Just checking.
Good. I'm glad you checked that. I was wondering.
I don't think we negotiated a deal, did we? I'm trying to remember. Yeah, it was because it was information, wasn't it? Okay.
In terms of the deal, now I'm actually I don't actually remember. I'm afraid to say. I'm so sorry. I thought I would have made a note of that, but I don't actually think I did. I think it was for money, wasn't it? Because you said that you were going to retrieve it, the golden cage, and he was going to give you a set amount. Let me have a quick look.
If not,
I thought
all the
it
parties
was-
in question have forgotten because of ordeals.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it was like agreed upon. I thought it was for money, but if you thought it was for something else, then because it was literally you were just tipped off of Tiscardi by the bronze banners because you just wanted work, paying work. So initially,
no, specifically Silastra as well. So it would have been for paid work.
Yeah,
Ansel was just hanging around because he wanted to give Obsidian time to spend with his family.
The number 4,000 appears to be in my brain, but I don't know whether that was for something else.
That could have been for
You got 4,000 from your
murdering.
Your other contact, I believe.
Well, in that case, it is in my possession. Though I would prefer to take it to you at another time and place.
Very good. But I will have to insist on a few things to ensure my safety.
That being...
Only one of you. Don't want any surprises. Can't trust a lot of you in this city. Just the one of you.
Well, one of us can be very surprising by themselves.
Be that as it may, I will have to insist upon it.
Fine. Where?
He looks around and then looks up and he says, "Up here," and he points to like there's like a wooden shelter built atop like a sort of like an old stone building. There's a flight of stone steps that leads up from the streets, the alleyway floor up to the top of the building. He points out there. He says, "Up there. It's one of my drop spots. I'll meet you there, but just you. If it is to be just you, just one of you."
Fine.
I shall ensure that payment is ready, and I think, shall we just agree that I think it was 4,000 gold pieces. If I go back later into another session and see that it was something else, we'll talk about it then, but for now, let's just say it was for 4,000.
Fair enough.
It was never really for the money, was it, Michael?
No. Okay.
Did you put it somewhere safe, did you?
For now.
Not remotely.
A child's probably playing with it if it's any comfort.
Children.
This magical birdcage is sticky.
Well,
It appears to have some honey on it.
as I understand it, it's very sought after.
Hang on, is he talking about the birdcage you guys put in my fucking living room? Very sought after? By who? What the fuck? Oh, guys.
Let's not worry about that now, Bogran.
I mean,
In our defence, we thought he was dead. We had to put it somewhere.
I mean, that draws a little bit. Okay, we'll talk about this later.
Tonight.
Tonight. Though be careful, you may be set upon as well.
Oh, good.
If you do not watch your backs.
Fine.
Who set upon you, Skadi? Who do we need to look out for?
I did not see them.
What did they sound like? What did they smell like?
I don't know what they smelled like. I was too busy trying to cover over my face.
Doesn't have much of a sense of smell after all that pipe smoking.
And all that blood coming out of my nose, yeah. But I know that they moved like a shadow. From the dark. Too dark to see.
Just one person or multiple?
I do not know. I just know it went very dark. And something seized me from behind. Truth be told, I was lucky to get away with my life. Hence why I had to lay low for a little bit.
How did you get away with your life, Scotty?
I wish I could tell you. I wish I could tell you.
Well,
Tonight.
all right.
Just the
Where?
one. Yes, I mean it. I mean it.
Oh, he already said where. Yeah, he did. Just the one. Just the one.
Well, if there's nothing else, I'm going to keep myself to myself. And he looks around, like, suspiciously, like, skittish, like a scared animal, almost.
Probably wise. Never know who's watching.
Like, he sort of, like, backs away from you and starts, like, scarpering down the alleyway. And the exact hour in the eve is agreed with him, and he vanishes.
I don't trust him as far as I can throw him. And I suspect I couldn't throw him very far at all.
No, he looks quite sturdy.
Can I do a search check of the area? Just see if there's any other hiding places that could be useful.
Yeah, you can certainly do a search check.
Yeah, 15.
Pretty
So
good for us.
the staircase and leading up to the top of the building, you don't imagine there's going to be any place where you could successfully hide there without some kind of magical accompaniment. But around the building, you see that there's a good many hiding spots. There's barrels stacked up on the ends of the alleyway. There's old sacks filled with discarded, like, wasted flour, carts, just winding alleyways around the building. The building itself faces onto the street front, but all around the sides of it and behind it are, like, connected to crisscross of alleyways. So you reckon that if you were good at hiding, you'd find a few spots to lurk in for sure.
What if you're not very good at hiding? What if you're average at hiding?
Even if you're average, it would be like, you're still going to be in an alleyway in the depths of night. If you agree to meet him in the night, then there'll be places. You'll be all right.
Okay. Great. So we should send Bogram. Celestra and me will hide nearby. Yeah? No?
I'm sorry, Dom, were you speaking to me?
I was speaking to everyone. I was just saying Bogram should go to the meeting, and Celestia and I will hide nearby.
Okay. Oh, I love that I'm roped into your shenanigans. Sure.
Not my shenanigans.
I mean, I'll hand over your highly sought-after birdcage.
All sorts of things are highly sought after, Bogram.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but all sorts of things are not in my living room.
There's some interesting things in your house.
Out in the open.
just in the window.
Just sat there. All right, let's go and get it. I'll do the handover, and you can hide, and I'm sure that will be fine.
Just floating an idea. Do we want to hand it over? It could be quite useful.
Yeah, so weren't we told it was a communication device?
Receiver only. For the Guild of the Songbirds. Is it a guild?
That's right, yeah, the Guild of the Songbirds, a bardic order that range across the realm, sharing stories and news.
If you learn to sing, Bogram, you could go into the bard profession as well as mortician.
Well, I mean, Bogram can...
He can sing.
Probably, maybe a tiny bit. I don't know.
Give it a go. Let's hear it.
He's quite charismatic.
He can hold a tune.
Drop a beat, Silaster. Let's hear it.
Definitely not.
Back in.
It would have to come to me on the spot, and I can't promise that it would be good.
So,
unlike my typical work, I'm not held to this.
No.
So this is not my usual line of work. So as useful as the money is, if you can pitch why this is as useful to keep, then so be it.
Also, are you going to upset somebody that you don't want to upset if you do keep it?
What you could do is hand it over, take the money, and then steal it back off him.
Or, I mean, it's a bird cage, right? Could we not just get one that looks similar? Does he know what it looks like? Specifically.
Does he know what it is?
I think he knows what it is.
Yeah. Seems a waste. Just hand it over is what I'm saying.
It sort of feels like there's several things we could do.
Pretty much.
You wanna hand it over? I'm down. You want to try and not do that? I'm down. Silaster, it's kind of.
It's your contract, Silaster.
It's not a contract.
It's your gentleman's agreement.
Your gentleman's agreement.
I mean, you'll have the whole. This is the early afternoon, like I said. You'll have until nightfall then to have decided.
Okay.
In the meantime, you have other stuff that you can do, so you can sort of
We
dwell
do,
on that.
Let's go to the library.
You want to go to the library, okay? So you can return to that place. That's where you want to go now, right?
Yeah, I think so. Right?
It depends if you want the birdcage out of your house.
Oh, yeah, there is that.
We have time.
What'll it be?
Okay. I'm just trick.
Yes,
go,
my master.
I need you to nip home and tell Naya to take the birdcage, which is brazenly sat in the front room, and just hide it somewhere.
Oh, I didn't matter. It is so shiny.
It is shiny.
I has.
I think other people are admiring it too, so let's deal with that problem.
It is a gift to Trick.
No. No, it isn't.
You'll forgive me for asking, Master. It is, how do you say? You do not ask, you do not get, huh?
It's always worth a try, but not on this occasion.
I come and find you when I have it, Master. I shall be the epitome of discretion.
Good. Thanks. Do try to do that. You know, just don't go flashing your little wings about.
I will try, Master. I didn't actually know what that means, but I heard the expression and it sounded apt. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
With a flash of red wings and a slight wisp of flame, he disappears into the air.
Wherever did you find him, Bogram? It's delightful.
He found me, actually. Definitely, he found me. So I don't generally go looking for small devils. But yeah, he had need of me more than the other way around.
I'll be right back in literally 2 secs.
Okay.
What do we need to look up in the library? We should quickly make sure we're on the same page.
3 things.
Go on. Number 1.
Marley. And anything related to that, which Bogram knows.
Which is the smell, right?
Yeah, and the burning.
Yeah.
Number 3.
Okay, let's skip to number 3. Vampire domination. How to break it.
Yeah, if there is some way of snapping someone out of vampire domination, short of dominating them yourself.
And number 2?
The Screaming Dead.
The Screaming Dead thing, yeah. Like, Bogram is of the thinking that it might have a problem with sunlight. That would weaken it or make it helpless or whatever. Because Bogram can summon incorporeal things that have that problem. So he knows that can be the case for incorporeal, but he doesn't know if that's the case for this. So he wants to research that. Because that would be a way of getting past it, perhaps, maybe. I don't know.
Forgive me, I had to go let my dog out. He was going mental.
That's right.
Yeah, so he's running around like a crazy thing outside.
Hey, man. when you gotta pee, you gotta pee.
Yeah, it was like, there's something outside he wanted to see, so I indulged him. Yeah, sorry. So you decided to go to the library then, in that case, yes?
Yeah.
You pass into those hallowed halls of learning once again. And let's just bring them up on the Roll20. Here they are.
I think the animals are going bonkers.
I think all the animals
Everyone's
are going
animals.
It's in my front street. I'm just going to see if I can split them up. It's two cats going to fight, so I'll just be 1 second.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, all the animals are going crazy. It must be that sickle moon.
I mean,
it's
mine
in the
clearly.
night.
Look at this. Look.
No.
Mental. Look.
Hello.
Mental. He's in a ball.
No.
It's the laziest duck.
Yeah, and we'll jump to that then. We can see that we have returned to the great hallowed halls of learning that is the great library of Valdinor, the place that openly shares knowledge with the public, and it does not hide it away like the other realms of in the realms of the Dominion, I should say. You are politely smiled at by the half-elven librarian, who remembers that you tipped rather generously last time, I believe, so he doesn't shake the plate at you as you go by this time. Just a polite smile as you go by. What is it in particular that you're after looking into first of all, then, as we delve into the depths of the library?
Okay, well, so we want to look up Marley, essence of Marley.
Okay,
and
fantastic.
We want to cross-reference it and try and see if there's any way of using it in magic that sounds similar to the burning, the smoke, the acrid smells, generally what the king described. See if there's a link, or if there could be a way of making it do that.
So, it is a plan. I'm going to ask you to either give me a survival or a nature check. And depending on how well it is, will depend on... But then again, you are looking for information, so anything you could argue that would help you find that information in the library as well. But a nature or a survival check will suit you well.
Survival.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have either of those.
26 on a survival.
Fantastic. Silaster, you find a rather dusty volume known as Fauna of the Fae. And you rifle through it and you see that there is a collection of investigations done for things that grow and exist within the realm of the Feywild, the realms of the Fae. And Marley is a flower that blooms within the summer time of the Feywild, amidst the reign of the summer court of the Eladrin. So it is a beautiful flower from what you can see, and it has many different uses. From the 26, however, you know that when burned, it produces an effect of heightened... not heightened. Heightened is the wrong word. And it's an effective... not sedative either. Like it makes you... I'm trying to think of the right word.
Aesthetic.
Yeah. Like not like an anesthetic, but like it kind of gives you a bit of a high, basically. Like it gives you like a pleasant relaxation. It causes relaxation.
Ketamine.
Yeah. Cat. It's just cat that is in the Feywild.
Kingly cat. Yeah.
The kingly cat. Yes. Yeah. It is. When burned, has like an aura of relaxation. But because it's such a rare plant, because obviously not many people go to the lands of the Fae, some question their existence. Yeah. That's what you get from that.
I would like to know. So my research into that is referencing it to any magic effects that I think it could be used. So, would there be a way to use that? Is it used as a component in a spell? Can it be rigged with some sort of spell?
Give me a knowledge arcana for that.
I just realised I do actually have survival, so I could have helped there as well, because I forgot we read that book. But a knowledge arcana 19.
Okay. From that, you realise that while you aren't aware of any magical spell component that Marley could take the place of, you do think from that, well, maybe because that was burning and being burned to create that essence, maybe something else was burning along with it. With that check, I think is probably fair to say with a 19. That there are other magical effects that can occur when things are burning. Certainly. You can give me a spellcraft check, and anyone else who has it as well, by all means.
Only 17. Yeah. Not terrible, I suppose.
Also 17.
Oh dear.
So this perhaps you don't know the exact effect, but it does. That I think is enough to solidify in your mind that perhaps something else was being burned in whatever was the essence or the fragrance that was being used to soothe the king. Perhaps something else could have been included in that, for there are a number of magical effects that can be created by that. But with that, unfortunately, that isn't enough to know what it would be.
Okay. So, before we move on to researching anything else, do you have any thoughts as to how to push that further? What we would need to do to find out more?
We need to know what happened to him.
Well, we know. I mean, we know
evidence.
from his perspective, we know what happened.
Only that there was burning.
Well, burning, acrid sort of an acrid sort of smell that was burning his nose and his throat. But I don't know that the burning was on his skin until he touched something in the room.
Yes, he did.
So it wasn't like he was on fire.
He reached out and then he got burned, and that explained the charring on his ring. Yeah.
Yeah. So something. So like stuff around him was burning, but like it wasn't like an effect. Like say, is it acid mist? Acid mist, acid cloud. I know there is an acid cloud spell.
Yeah.
If that surrounded you, that would just burn you, your skin and stuff, right? That you would feel that burning you. That doesn't seem to be this. This was
okay. Let me bring something up because
around him. So
that's enough to prompt another check, I think. But I just need to look at. Have you guys got anything in alchemy or anything like that at all?
Just use magic device.
Yeah, I don't have anything in alchemy. I like to say I have survival as well. I've just checked, and I do have acid fog on my spell list, so I would know about the spell. That's why I brought it up. But
Silastic, you may make a roll with either. Let me see. Whichever is better, you can make a roll with this. Medicine, nature. Sorry, not medicine. Sorry, that's the fucking wrong sheet.
Heal.
Nature, or just your level. So your level and a d20 roll for reasons.
I'll take my level then.
Okay.
Critical success, 29.
Wow. Yeah.
Something about when Bogram is going through all the facts of what you know, and the thing that stands in your mind is the idea of something burning, and Bogram is explaining, well, if it was acid, if it was burning around him, then you would see signs of him being burned to death, like if it were an acid cloud, or if it was a fire spell, anything like that. You suddenly freeze thinking about your experience as an assassin, and you start thinking about not fire effects or acid effects, but poison. And you know that not all poison is liquid put into a cup or spread upon a knife. Some poison can be inhaled. And with that 20 on the die, you go, bing!
Poison.
Which could very well explain the feelings of, oh my god, something's burning in my throat, oh my god, something, but actually it being accredited to something far more
Masked under the aroma of Marley. A poison was burnt.
Now do a knowledge arcana to see if any of you know of any kind of poison.
Well, 1 second. I'm just checking because I'm pretty sure I have the spell poison. So if I do, I'm going to look over I do. So I can look over the list of poisons that comes with that spell at least and see if they equate in some way.
Yeah, because you're in the library, the reason I'm asking for that check is that you can now look up poisons that can take that effect as well. So even if you don't personally know what it is, you might be able to find it. So you can do anything like a knowledge arcana roll or a nature roll to find the right books to locate something like that. So make another roll, all of you, if you wish, to see if you can find it.
24.
Ooh,
22.
Bloody good.
Knowledge. Did you say arcana?
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Or nature.
18.
18.
So you've mentioned poisons on my poison spell list. I actually do have all.
Your mic needs to go up and down again, Matt. You've gone very quiet.
Have I?
Give it a waggle.
That's better. Thank you.
Give it a little
Oh, no.
No,
It's
keep
done,
going.
It's done it again. It's done it again.
How's that?
Again.
Again! Another!
Any improvement?
No.
No.
Let me just.
Hey!
Back intermittent.
Well, every time Matt speaks, other people speak. Matt just-
Hold on a second. Let me see if.
Oh, that sounded all right.
Well, let me just
do a quick refresh of my thing, and then hopefully that'll fix the problem.
Oh, okay. I think it's definitely a headset, mate.
Hello.
Keep talking.
Normally, I didn't.
If you want to mute in future, maybe just mute on a thing, maybe, so you're not like doing it. Because like I don't know, it seems to try and plug it in and out. Maybe I don't know. Whilst Matt does that, then have you guys got any other questions that you want to look into whilst you're in the library? And we'll come back to that then.
Yeah. Matt, you on Google Chrome? Actually, my signal, my internet's gone very shit as well. I'm going to quickly hop onto my hotspot, so I'll be gone for a moment.
Well, Silaster can't do what he was going to do, so we'll start looking up Let's see. Vampires.
Okay.
And domination. And that dominate spell.
Yeah, certainly. So
And accounts of any maybe people who have broken mind control and that sort of thing.
okay then, so give me a knowledge arcana roll.
18.
Yeah, so I mean, you know that there is you know that there is a an effect that the vampires use that is very similar to descriptions of a spell. It's some posit that it was the vampires that created this power, and that casting the spell is kind of like leading into that kind of power of suggestion and blood. You know, there is a spell that replicates the effects of it with an 18 called Dominate Person.
Hello.
Hello.
Do you hear me?
Perfectly, yes.
Good.
Maybe just mute on the thing for today's session, Matt. And then we'll you just
Did I Dom, I can see and hear Dom, but he's not showing up on the stream.
No, he's not on mine.
And now he's gone off of mine again.
He's
Oh no, there he
back.
is. Do you see him?
Yes, there we go.
Yes.
Just whether he shows up on the stream.
Okay, as we were discussing, Silastra starts looking into vampires, and he has actually successfully learned that the dominate power is as the spell dominate, and some posit that that's where the spell originally came from. It came from the power of vampires. That they somehow the creatures have become inherently used to that power and are able to use it to their own whims. So that's that. Back to the check with the... Am I echoing now?
Don't think so.
Back to the fumes check then. So what was it you were asking? And I am echoing, so I'm gonna... Dom, mute. Yeah, Dom, you're echoing. I don't know what it is. I think my sound's coming out somewhere in yours.
So I have the poison spell list. The list of poisons of the spell. I was trying to just sort of sum up now because I hadn't considered that it might be poison. But Silastra, having said that, means I can kind of look over the poisons that I can create with the spell and see if any of them come across. And the inhaley ones that I have on my spell list, ungle dust. See, I'm looking for ones that will kill. Right? Some poisons don't kill, they do damage. The inhaled ones. Dark Reaver Powder. Constitution damage. Ungle Dust does charisma damage, which wouldn't kill. Insanity Mist, which does wisdom. And Burnt Oath of Fumes. Burnt Oath of Fumes says it could be possible. If it's burnt. And that does con damage. So that could be a killer. Let's look. So if we look up that one specifically.
That will do. You begin rifling through the pages of many a tome until you discover exactly what it means, because burnt oath fumes, well, that means that you need to burn oath of some kind. What is that? And rather interestingly, actually took a little bit of digging for me to actually discover what that is in the lore of games. Now, oath of powder, it is posited, is taken from a rare poisonous plant, and when burned, produces dangerous fumes that severely weakens the constitution, sometimes unto death. Now, you remember, everyone in the castle was interviewed. Everyone in the castle was asked if they had anything to do with or any knowledge of the king's death. And no one got picked up by that zone of truth that had been put on that interrogation of everyone in the castle, effectively. Or everyone who should have been in the castle at that time. However, you don't know whether someone had severely weakened the king with this poison, perhaps. Give me one final knowledge arcana check.
Interesting.
And you can either be knowledge arcana or your level, Bogrim, because this is your expertise.
I'll stick with knowledge arcana.
Yeah.
So it's 1 point better. Mm-hmm. Oh, bugger. My rolls are just getting a little worse every time. That's 14.
That's okay. So that's actually fine, because this is more jogging your memory. This is knowledge you already have. It's just to prompt you. You remember your conversations with Old Man Olam and your investigations into the Fugue Prism. The Fugue Prism you surmise or suspected recently was the cause of the rise in mortality. People that are on the verge of dying or very elderly or very weakened find themselves being pushed over the edge by the Fugue Prism. So perhaps all it would take is for someone to be weakened for the Fugue Prism to do the rest of the deadly work.
Yep. Okay. So it would be fairly simple to put some of that substance in with his thing, because he would burn the Marley himself if he didn't know there was poison in there that he had to burn to trigger it. So no one had to be in the room. He would do it himself, or his servants or whatever would do it. Okay. So are we pinning... I mean, we're pinning Apophis here, right? Like, we all think that he's dodgy.
Indirectly, but
Dodgy AF.
At least him. Maybe others, but he's definitely involved.
maybe it's proxy.
Arcane Zarya, I think Arcane Zarya, though, even though she was the one that sort of prescribed the Marley, I think that actually almost moves the attention away from her, because why would she wouldn't, that sort of points the finger at her, she wouldn't be that stupid.
You think it's got to get Matt?
Has it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he went a little bit ragey and Mikey.
I didn't even touch the thing. I don't know what's going on with the sound. This hasn't happened before. Why do computers just randomly break for no reason?
I find myself asking this question on a regular basis.
I haven't
Almost
done
weekly.
It's so annoying. I haven't changed any settings. I've just sat here. Just changed it.
It's like on the cusp of it now. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I don't know.
Very strange. I have no idea why that's happening.
Yeah, it's at least better than it was before.
Yeah, it is better. It's better. Okay, so whilst Obsidian's sort of like uncovered that, then we'll go back to the vampire power, the dominate person. So you know that there is a spell to do with it. As a matter of fact, you can now see that there is a number of accounts of people falling victim to this deadly power over the years, not simply used by vampires, but by powerful wizards and sorcerers and mages that have used this spell to deadly effect, to not have people harm themselves with the spell, but to go about enacting someone else's will, and sometimes with very dangerous ramifications. People being told to put out the fires of lighthouses, or to not properly add the right kind of mortar to something they've been building. Like, all manner of uses, this spell can be used for devastating consequences. And it just happens that it's an incredibly powerful spell. There doesn't appear to be a particular way of stopping it unless it's dispelling it, it would seem.
But we are aware that vampires can do it as an ability, right? So, I mean, we actually this would probably be in the Libris Mortis, which is where I need to look for the other thing anyway. But it's can we dispel? Can we use dispel to break that when a vampire does it? Because when a vampire does it, we're not sure it's a spell or if it's an effect of a different kind. I'm not sure how it functions.
And how long should it traditionally last? Is that
so? From what you've discovered here, generally speaking, it lasts a matter of days. So you know that it would have to be done again,
refreshed,
to keep someone continually under the power. So it would have to be like topped up, even if it's once a week or once every 2 weeks. So out of game, the duration, it says 1 day per level. So
for a high level vampire.
For the high level vampire, and you know that the vampire might have like a few advantages to using it. That'll probably be clear from the Libris Mortis. If you were to look into vampires, you could just look at that stage and learn that they would have like a benefit to using that power. It's stronger when they do it, just inherently.
Yeah. So it could potentially be up to sort of 3 weeks, 4 weeks even.
It could be a long time, yeah.
So I'll go and crack out the Libris Mortis then, because we got a couple of things to look for in there.
So does that mean Derek has to come here to...
I'd imagine
only if he wants to continue keeping it up. If he's not bothered about keeping it up,
no,
doesn't matter.
Well, if not dispelling, what about suppressing?
I don't know that there'd be a way to suppress it
Like an anti-magic field.
easier than just dispelling it. Anti-magic field is it's a very high level spell. Higher level than
I wouldn't know about it.
I can dispel. I have dispel. So I could try if you can dispel a magic effect that isn't a wizard's or
because it's a spell-like ability potentially rather than a...
Yeah, vampires can do it in some inherent way, I think. But this is exactly what we're looking for in the book. So whether it is possible to break a vampire's domination of a person, specifically a vampire's domination of a person, and how. And then obviously we'll look up the incorporeal...
Bastard.
The incorporeal bastard.
Incorporeal bastard.
Or bastards.
Yeah, true.
For there were many. Call us bastards, for we are many.
So, apologies, what are you looking into next then?
So yeah, the vampire's domination ability and whether it can be dispelled or suppressed or broken in some other way. So
Give me
specifically
a
vampires.
knowledge religion roll to see if you know where the right place to look.
Religion.
15.
Yeah, so let's see. So there doesn't appear to be, and you're looking through it because I'm actually just looking at the vampire thing here, the vampire page. From this, it genuinely is that it runs out or the person overthrows the power, or is cut off from magic in some way, either with a powerful a dispel effect that is greater than the power that is upon them. So a targeted dispel, which is, as you know, an opposed check against the power against your own. That would appear to be the only way that it could be taken off someone, or that it runs out.
What about
protection from the magic circle against evil, because I don't know this. I don't have the spell, but I know the spell exists. So I can look up the spell to see if it cuts off mind control or something. I don't remember whether it does, but it's worth a
So
thought.
that gives you deflection and resistance bonuses, and the protection from mental control.
So it could be if we could get him into a magic circle against evil.
He would have a better chance of throwing it off if he were in a magic circle against evil. Because it's a level 3 spell. You've already made really strong checks, both religion and arcana. So by all means, just look into that spell if there's some way that you want to conjure it.
I can't cast it, but we could certainly.
No, but from your checks, you'll know that either a cleric, a paladin, or a sorcerer or a wizard would be capable of doing so. So you imagine that a scroll of some kind could be created that Ansel could bully into activating.
So, I think we should kidnap Apophis.
You want to kidnap him? The first voice of the...
Yes, I do. Yes, I do want to kidnap him, and I want to wake him up in a chair, pull the bag off, and be like, right, you're in a magic circle,
bitch.
Break out of it.
Not to
I really, really want to kidnap Apophis.
What if
Not
he's
to,
not compelled?
I imagine since last time, I have a hunch security there might be a little bit tougher.
But then information, he's
Maybe.
not always in his room, is he? There must be other places that he goes. We could have him on when he's on the crapper.
Salaster looks in the bag of holding at the guard, just his face just staring back.
Oh,
I suspect
a guard.
He's not palace guard, just
yeah.
a
He's
guard.
castle guard. He's castle guard.
Oh, he's castle guard.
Oh, he's not a
dragon
dragon guard.
That's
He's
the
a
one.
palace guard.
I mean, you've got his armor as well. If you've got an just looks in the bag. Did you just kill a palace guard?
That was very difficult time to think. To be...
Yes, it was.
Yeah, but you just killed the dude.
It's a gift.
Okay. Well, again, this is another thing. I mean, this and the birdcage. We'll talk. The hell, man, going off the rails. We could. I mean,
I just followed along. It wasn't my idea. He was doing it, so I thought it was the right thing to do.
I mean, have his armor off. Silaster or Ansel put his armor on. Or me, I suppose, maybe, possibly.
Might make more sense for the person who can bluff.
Little small for a palace guard.
And then in we go and have him. But this is a plan we can discuss at another time because we're doing research now. Come on. But I think that's maybe a good plan. Because then we would have the time to concentrate on casting the spell and allowing him some time to break out of his mental control. But we could always take the scroll into the castle and cast it on wherever he is.
Around him.
Yeah, the other thing, Rob, then is so this is going to be searching for any reference in the book to a creature that looks like the screaming, horrible undead thing. Looking into my idea of the whole sunlight concept on incorporeal undead and whether that has any standing on. I don't know whether it's all incorporeal. It's one of the things I can summon has it, so yeah, whatever checks we need to do to...
Yeah, so you realise that you'll have to navigate the maze-like contents of the Libris Mortis to see if you can uncover anything about this. This is going to be a difficult religion check.
We go to the index, we go to the monsters, new monsters.
Yeah, a few monsters.
Alphabetical order.
Am I
Screaming
right in
undead,
thinking
maybe.
that version of the Liberis Mortis is like put together by different people, like as
Yeah.
they've learned things?
Yeah,
So it's like just.
I imagine it started out as a sort of book. I mean, it was a Libris Mortis, but the Libris Mortis originally just was like a religious tome, probably, that had some reference to spells, but then people started adding to it, and now it's just a big scrapbook. Sorry, what role was it you wanted?
A very, very, very good religion check, and I mean a very good religion check.
I mean,
very
probably
good.
won't be, but
Like, is it a possible?
how's that?
Hello. Hello.
One off a crit, but there you go. It's a 28.
You learn
Nothing.
stuff.
Nothing.
No, you do. What you remember when you're sort of like racking your brains to think of any kind of like key words that you could start looking into, like you're trying to think of how you would describe this thing, and the thing that keeps
Screaming. It was screaming
yes.
a lot.
Well, yes. But you remember also that it didn't just start by screaming. It began by speaking. It began by calling to you. You couldn't help but remember from seeing the many different faces and the many different voices that this wasn't just one entity, but a collection of entities. You begin rifling through the terrifying pages of an account of someone encountering. They don't. It's only been sort of like mentioned once in the Libris Mortis, which is the terrifying thing, and because of that, the person was the one naming it. The person who encountered it got to name it, and they simply called it the Caller in the Darkness.
Cool.
And it is
Well,
effectively...
that doesn't make it sound ominous. Why couldn't you have named it something a bit more fluffy? Come on, why has it got to sound so horrible?
From the account you read, it appears to be composed of the minds of dozens of victims who all died together in terror, and it seeks to draw others into its fear-racked, hellish existence. It is not only a magical creature, but a creature with something described as psionic abilities as well. Perhaps a word that you're only just beginning to understand. You then think, Bogram, of how suddenly something in your brain just got turned off just from being near it. Your charisma just got popped out of your existence for a time. This thing is deadly to be near. It can target you just by looking at you, and it has the traits of something deadly and incorporeal. That doesn't mean you can look it up on the SRD. Because I'll know.
Most assuredly not the plan.
Hold on 1 second. I'm just typing. No reason why.
Yeah, don't mind me. I'm just
Practicing headshots.
See? Headshots with a capital H.
okay. That really, I mean, it identifies.
It does.
What we're looking at.
You can give me a Arcana roll again. This time to follow your thoughts on the usage of daylight against incorporeal creatures.
There's only 13, I'm afraid.
Am I allowed to
Yeah, by all means.
add my thoughts? Because I've got Arcana as well.
Jump in at any point, guys, if you feel like you have something
We're all
to add to
sharing
it,
information.
Mm-hmm.
Sharing all of our information.
I've only got 16, but
That's
slightly
good.
more than yours.
No, that's good because it's a broad question, so 16 is good. Okay. Yes, a vast number of incorporeal creatures have a vulnerability to sunlight. That is sunlight, not the daylight spell. The daylight spell does not conjure sunlight. That's why it doesn't work on vampires. It doesn't, it has to be actually sunlight for it to be vulnerable.
I'm thinking mirrors.
Oh god, no.
Big bloody mirrors.
That's a lot of
A
mirrors.
series of intricate mirrors, all pointing, that will hold in place.
Potentially. if we knew where it was in respect to like what buildings
We
were
could
above it.
dig straight down.
Well, we sort of do. We went down there, and we know
Yeah,
where
but we
we
didn't
went
know the
in.
exact location where it is underneath. If, for example, there's just like a street, like a pathway above it that's shallow, we could, in theory, knock it through. But if it's a building, then that's out of the question.
We could, in theory, knock through.
A lot of punches.
Or a, explosive of some kind.
You can't help but remember how mobile this creature was, and how swift it was. So you think that if you were going to try and lure it somewhere, there wouldn't. And I don't mind sharing this with you because it's kind of obvious. It could just move away. Like it's fast and it lives in a catacomb maze-like area underneath the city. So who's to say it just doesn't move around and go somewhere else?
Okay. We're assuming we need to kill it.
No,
If we can't, what about
I
just
was
getting past it?
Sunlight was the idea was to make it powerless so we could get past it. I'm not in any way saying kill it. I don't have anything really that can do it damage. So I don't think killing it is an option. I think is there a way to
Hide from undead?
I have hide from undead, but we mentioned this before. The problem is that it was making the saves. It was making saves on higher level spells. Hide from undead is a level 1 spell, and it can beat that. I'm sure it can. Is there a way to trap undead spirit like ghosts?
Yeah, there's all sorts of ways.
A ghost trap, like you might say.
They're the size of a shoebox. So you
Yeah,
could throw.
whether you guys
Yeah,
have the capability to do that is really, up for question. I'm not sure you
You'd
guys
think
can.
I should.
Yeah, I would have thought you'd know.
At much higher levels.
Kidos
I can.
Kidos
knows anything about this psionic, because he didn't seem to hit us with magic when he threw us around.
Bogram.
Did we know that's the same thing?
Yeah.
I thought it was mentioned at one point.
Yeah, it was. It was mentioned very briefly that he had some kind of strange, unearthly power. Anyone who would like, give me a knowledge arcana, or knowledge religion. It actually overlaps. Because oddly enough,
is one higher.
this is actually found in Libris Mortis.
Fuck's sake. It's my entire bread and butter, and I've got the Libris Mortis in front of me.
It's not too difficult, actually, because you think to yourself, Ansel, what we need is a trap effective on ghosts. We need some kind of
Ghost trap.
You see written in the corner of the Libris Mortis ghost trap, a level 7 wizard spell, a level 6 cleric spell that could be effective. Very powerful spell that negates incorporeal illness. The radius is the field 5 feet per caster level.
So a higher level cleric could either cast it or potentially
Put it in a scroll.
I think that's
Describe
level 11, I think, for clerics to get a level 6 spell. I could be wrong. It's around mid.
It's going to be 11 or 12, isn't it?
Not easy to come by in terms of clerics, but yeah, maybe.
We need a exorcist.
Well, maybe there is an exorcist that lingers in the city.
Food for thought.
Indeed.
Is there anything else that you would like to look up in the library at this point? As I think that time has probably passed quite rapidly since you've been in the library. You've had to trawl over a large number of books, and you know that the day is rapidly coming to an end, and darkness comes quickly in the autumn nights. You note, Ansel, that the 2 sickle moons begin to rise overhead. As this will be sort of like the first full night of the sickle moon.
I feel neither either way inclined when it comes to the money or the cage, but I think if we take the bird cage, if we can see if Skadi can offer any greater leverage, maybe. If not,
Kill him.
well, it may come to that. If he cannot
I
offer
didn't
any
think I'd
greater
hear you say
leverage,
it.
I was joking.
I am inclined to say we keep it. An ear to the messengers, this college, I think is worth far more than
4,000.
gold. Yes. Information is valuable. But if he can offer us something greater, or a reason as to why he needs it, perhaps.
Agreed.
What are you going to do next, then?
I realised my internet popping in and out for some reason this evening. I don't know why.
Sorry, mate. You're clear for me.
Good. I just dropped off for a second. You all froze, but I refreshed and I'm good.
Nice one, mate.
I'm willing to try and drive a hard bargain with him, negotiate somewhat. If I'm
You're
doing
the
the
one
handoff
to
anyway,
do it.
I'm willing to try and push that a little bit. Through intimidation and all of that stuff. I'll go in with the heavies. Oh no, I won't. He wants it only one. Yeah. I was going to say I'll go in surrounded by.
It needs to be a good deal. Otherwise,
Okay, well, why don't you? Here you go. We're sat in the library at this point. I slide a piece of paper across to you and just say, write down a number.
3.
Ansel doesn't get it. Well done! A 3. That's really good. Well done. And I'll just go to that. And if he doesn't top that, if he doesn't top what you've said, we're good. Well, I'll kill him.
You'll kill him.
I won't kill him. I'll wither his legs.
There we go.
Unless someone else
All
kill
right, I
him.
won't.
Okay, we're just gonna...
Just change your alignment.
I'll rip his hand.
Silaster
and
chops
make
down
it-
a number, folds it back up, and slides it to Bogram.
Oh yeah, that's cool. We got that.
Okay, so the number is folded. Volcom can decide whether he looks at it or waits until later before looking at it. Whichever you think's more fun.
Just slips it into his pocket.
Oh,
I've got it. I've got it right here in front of me. So yeah, he will. He'll look at it and he'll give you a nod. All right, let's go back to the Graves house, get suited,
Yep.
and go and make the transaction. Go and make the deal.
Suit up.
You head back from the library then, and the autumn chill, fresh in the air. You're halfway through the month of reaping now, and the shadows grow ever longer. You arrive back at the Graves household, and yeah, you're able to have some swift refreshment. Is there anything you want to do whilst you are back at Graves & Co. before you head out again, or is this just a quick turnaround? Any thoughts?
Just grab the stuff as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Unless you want to have a chat.
Let's just grab it and go. The next day, I have some thoughts. Now we're mentioning scrolls. I'm not there yet, but one more level up of spell, and I can cast a spell called Undeath to Death, which is a very powerful thing that I might be able to use against the thingy. So, and also the reason I would never go searching for necromancy scrolls in the city normally, but it's one of those necromancy spells that I think people would consider acceptable, like gentle repose and those sorts of things, because it's undeath to death. So it's about slaying undead. It's about, I think good clerics would probably use it. So it's possible I might be able to find it. But I don't really have anything other than that to say. Let's go make the trade.
So you head back out into the darkness, your footsteps echoing upon the cobble streets of Valdinor. The two sickle moons gleaming down like a pair of eyes, beholding your every move. You wind through the streets until, after a good while, you arrive back at the building where you had run into Scardy. And there is a set of staircases. There is a set of stairs. There we go. And I have done a map for this. So, and because you said that you want to hide for the purposes of the exchange, just in case, we can place where you are, just in case anything happens.
Just in case.
Well, he is a suspicious
qualifying
one.
That doesn't fill me with dread at all.
Well, listen, he's suspicious, and you know that's just that.
And I'm also going to threaten the pants off him. So
exactly. So there is the staircase that starts at the bottom here. It's at the top of the where the structure is, and it goes up a fair while. Like I'd say that's 2 flights. So it's sort of like a 2-story, but a tall 2-story building. We're talking about 30 feet up. No, probably more than that. 2 stories. 40 feet up in the air. To the roof, that is.
Yeah, he wanted to meet on the roof.
Scardy wants to meet on the roof.
Cool. So where are you guys going to hide? What we can
I'm not so good at hiding.
You do.
Well, you
could just stand out.
You could just be down the road if you wanted. That, as I mentioned, the street that's at the very bottom here then is sort of like one of the main thoroughfares that lead out onto one of the main roads of Valdinor. Fairly committed footfall. Not super busy as it's night, but busy enough. So you could linger in the road.
I might sort of linger in this sort of area over here.
How high?
With these tieflings.
Ah, yes. How high?
Yeah, how high is this building here?
That building there is 1 story, so that's like 20 feet. You won't be able to see the top of the building from any of them, I don't think, actually.
This is the tallest one in there.
The one where he's meeting appears to be the tallest. You begin to realise that perhaps he's chosen that one for a good reason.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. I have Trick, who is going to perch as a crow just on the corner, right?
Turns into a crow, flies alongside.
And he can be our sort of alert. So if anything is going on, if it looks like I'm under attack, if he will give the signal, which is to go batshit crow crazy. Like that.
He can also take cry and shade because they're not creatures. Well, cry is a creature.
Okay. Silaster is going to use his Dance of the Spider and quickly climb up the side of the building and onto the roof here.
So you run along where? Sorry, to what side of the building? Let's just double check where you are.
Right at the top of the map.
Ah, there you are. Yeah. Okay.
So I can see the stairs.
Great. Yeah. So you can see like the halfway point of the stairs there. That's great. Okay. So you position yourself there then, and Bogram, you stand at the bottom of the stairs, and you should have Trick with you. Did you put Trick there on the edge of that building there?
I did indeed.
Yeah, that's fine.
He will perch on the corner so he can see the roof, but he's a crow, so hopefully he won't draw attention.
Yeah, certainly.
Too much attention, at least. And, yeah.
Very good. Well, the darkness falls then. The stairway awaits.
The midnight hour is close at hand.
The rooftop meeting went so well last time.
That's true. Yeah, that is true.
Just make my way up to the roof if it's the night of the time, and I will stand watching the street with my back to the stairs.
Yeah, it's as you arrive then, you hear a and the doorway to the wooden shack structure that's up there sort of like creaks open ever so slowly, and you see in the shadows Scardy, his dwarven stature hunched, looking round the corner. And he will say, "They sent you?"
Of course they did.
He sort of like looks over his shoulder and then steps out. I just realised that he's not there. Bear with me 1 second.
That's all right. Oh, we didn't say, did we? I've got the birdcage, right? Yeah.
I'm assuming you gave him... Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I have it with me. Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure that we were doing that and I wasn't going to like give him a location or something. We were going to try and be clever about it.
He steps out and then moves to here. You've brought what I've asked for.
I have bought the item. Did you bring money?
I did, yeah. And he reaches into his cloak and pulls forth like a sack that jingles.
I've been sent to renegotiate. This was very hard to come by.
What do you mean renegotiate? A deal's a deal.
A deal is a deal, but since I've been informed that you weren't particularly upfront about what we'd be up against in the first place, we're altering the deal. Pray we don't alter it any further. Sorry. I can't help myself.
So what would you have then if you're altering this deal?
The price has gone up.
By how much?
I'm a reasonable man. Let's say 13,000.
13,000.
Yes.
I must confess, I'm curious why they sent you.
Obsidian will just sort of lean forward slightly, and with a glare in his eyes say, "Pray you don't find out why they sent me."
And he gives you a very broad smile and he says, "How much, sorry?" To remind him how much it was.
13.
He will open the bag that he's carrying and he will say, "Oh dear. I think I find myself a little short."
Don't say it. For fuck's sake. Obsidian will laugh. Under his mask, he won't be able to help himself.
As you both, he laughs as well, actually. He laughs broadly. And it's then that you can't help but notice that his grin is broadening further and further. He drops the bag of coins and hundreds of teeth spill out onto the ground in front of you.
Oh, you.
Oh, fuck.
Twisting and transforming in front of your very eyes, Bogram, you see him after this long time. Grin stands before you, transformed, and that is where we're going to leave it until we come back from the break.
Bastard.
For those of you watching live, thank you ever so much for joining us. If you're watching after the fact, give this video a like, give us a subscribe. We'll be back after these short messages.
You bastard.
For fuck's sake.
Of course he was in disguise.
And we have returned. Initiative has been rolled. As a terrible transformation is occurring upon the roof, Silasta, it's your turn. Now,
I
the
assume
interesting question, do you know anything's going on?
Well, if the Raven, that is Trick, is being cawing, I would be dashing over.
Oh yeah, you did say Bakor, Bakor, Bakor. Yeah, okay, so Bakor, Bakor, Bakor. You can absolutely do as you wish, as it is your turn. Go.
Well, unfortunately, I don't know what more I can... Let's see. As a standard action, I will use my Shadow Jaunt to bring me to here. Then I shall move the rest of the way up the stairs. So 5, 10, 15, 20. Get me there.
It's great!
And as Silasta's sprinting up, going, oh,
You see it
he will
turn
drop. He will drop into the Pearl of Black Doubt as he just focuses on home.
Grin sort of like shoots a look over his shoulder. You see those tusks and feral teeth jutting out of his disgusting jaw at odd angles before he puts his full attention back onto you, Bogram. He doesn't need to move. He can just reach out to grab you where he is, such as his reach.
This feels awfully familiar.
I need your touch armor class, please.
My touch armor class.
Yep.
11.
That is a hit.
Oh dear.
I'm just going to do this with a roller, forgive me. Bear with. Grin reaches out with a feral, clawed, hand, his claws reaching out to you. You see, unraveling in his other hand, you see a vicious chain of spikes and teeth. But as that falls to his side, it's almost like a feint. He just rushes with like a gesture and just grabs hold of your neck, Bogrim, as he lands the touch attack. You take 39 points of damage as he begins to drain the life from you. I drink!
How is he draining?
It's a magical
I'm
attack.
guessing vampiric or something similar.
As long as it's not negative energy or anything.
It is not, no. It's you can do a spellcraft check if you like.
Sure, why not?
Don't you worry, it's not negative energy. If that's what you were worried about, Matt.
That is 28, my spellcraft.
Whoa.
Yeah, you know
Shit,
this.
Just getting my good rolls out of the way now.
Fitting indeed for the servant of a vampire to be endowed with the power of vampiric touch, as he takes that from you and it adds to his own strength. He gives a feral cackle.
How many was it? Sorry, 39.
39 points of damage.
Well over half of my total hit points in one.
Yep, it was a good fucking roll. That's his turn. Ansel.
Ansel starts jogging. 5, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm going to double movement. Why not? Let's go crazy. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Not even halfway up the stairs. But I will also send up the shade. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He has the same movement as me, which means he can go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 and appears next to my good friend Silaster. I'm assuming I can't see onto the rooftop, so I don't know what I'm fighting.
You can give me a listen check to see if you recognise any cries. It'll be a hard one, for sure.
Well, my listen is...
You've just heard the alarm go.
Hold on.
That's all
Is
you know.
3. 16.
Yeah, you just hear the commotion and you hear like a guttural snarl that twinges something in the back of your mind, though you're not entirely sure from that. But
It's probably just like, what fun! And just starts like running towards...
seek comfort in the knowledge that you will know soon enough what waits at the top of that staircase. Ansel, anything else on your turn?
Would it be metagamey to take a potion? Because my hit points are not great.
Well, you know that
Probably
it's
not.
gonna...
He's attacking
no.
us.
You know
Yeah.
something awful is happening. The alarm's been raised. You could definitely take a potion, certainly.
I'll take a cure mod wounds, then my last one of those, which is 2d8.
I just realised you still have damage
Plus
from something else.
Yeah,
Palace Guard
just-
encounter.
never
Did
healed
you
it.
did you get hit by them? I don't remember you getting hit by them.
No, I think it was the one before that, to be fair. I think I just had only 1 day's healing. I think it's just from our...
Oh, right. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I
sure
think
you
just
have
not
your-
as much time as you'd think.
No, right. Well, okay. So
Wait,
that's...
no, but we leveled up before that. No, we didn't. We leveled up before the fight. Ignore me.
Yeah.
Yeah, sadly so. Well, in that case, in Ansel, as you pace up the stairs, wondering what you'll discover at the top, we move now to Bogrim. The
Oh dear.
the beast is upon you. What do you do?
Silaster, can you reach him in the next round?
Yep. For what I
See,
intend.
You'd be flanking. Right? You'd be flanking. If you reach him. Forgive me, I can't 100% remember. Did Silaster go first in the round? So you will
Silas
go
first, yeah. He'll go after you.
You'll go before him.
Yep.
Yeah, but if I can't delay because I'm at the end of the round, so delaying won't actually help me. but you will go. Oh, risky. I want to help, and I don't want to just wig out of the fight. It'll take me forever to get back up here. He's done so much damage.
It was an atrocious luck on your
Look
part. Like,
after
honestly,
yourself.
the roll I did was catastrophic.
It must have been because I have that same spell, and that is a ridiculous amount of damage for that spell. But I'm going to take a 5-foot step, and I'm going to try and land a touch attack on him.
Okay.
$20 on his touch armor class.
20 is a hit on his touch armor class.
Right back at you, motherfucker.
You're doing the same spell.
Yep.
Can you do a caster level check as some form of resistance pushes back against you?
Holy shit sauce. Really? That's just your level, right? What level are we? Level 9, aren't we?
Level 9, so d20 plus 9.
I haven't changed it on my sheet, that's all.
Yeah,
I
unless you've
panicked.
got any feet.
Did I take... No, I didn't.
I don't think you mentioned it.
Alright. Bollocks. I'm dead.
Oh.
You try and do your best to... Yeah, you do your best to try and push back at him with the same spell, and like your power is dissipated from the aura that surrounds him. I've come back for more. Silasta, it's your turn.
Silasta is going to shift into his assassin stance as he now picks up his speed and goes in for a charge attack. So he charges, he jumps, and he goes for a flying kick as he charges into, hopefully, Grin. I know.
King.
I can at least be useful for something.
32?
Yeah, that's a hit.
Great.
You smash into him.
So that is... Cool. $20 points of damage.
Yeah, you charge into him, smash into him, and he goes ah! As you smash into him. Anything else on your turn?
No. That's it.
You have come here to play. He throws up with this giant chain. It unravels into the air. You watch it glint white, yellow, black, and brown as this collection of teeth just soars down onto your armor class, which is
Wait, who?
you, Silasta.
I charged, so 20.
We didn't turn the table off, did we?
We did not.
Possibly
Confirm it.
a critical.
Do it.
Do it.
Would you like to roll the D100 or shall I? Or at least roll it publicly.
Oh, I'm rolling it publicly.
Oh, well, I'll roll it publicly.
Roll you publicly.
Let me get the table up so I have it directly in front of me. This is the first
I'll
time.
roll your mum publicly.
Ooh!
Oh,
That's bad. Oh, that's bad.
What is 95?
95. The chain goes up into the air and he brings it round and it just like wraps fully around you, and then he wrenches as he does abdominal injuries. You take 2d6 strength and constitution damage.
Is there no save or anything? Oh, it's not a save or die, is it? Thank fuck.
It's just damage.
Ooh, that's brutal.
So, what do we reckon? Is that just 2d6 and we apply that to both strength and damage, or two separate rolls?
I think it's separate.
Okay, strength first.
Go for it.
8 points of strength damage.
Mother shitter.
7 points of constitution damage. He flays you with the chain tooth.
Dude,
And that's a bad time.
hang on. I need
This fucking guy.
redo my current hit points. So that takes my modifier.
So he struck you. That's
Down by
his
4 or 3?
attack.
3.
Wow. And that leaves him. I wonder.
So that is...
The terrible thing is he's not moved, so he can attack again.
Yeah.
So he will.
Can I just confirm? Constitution loss is your level for each modifier point you've lost.
Yeah.
So technically, my modifier's gone down by 3. My level is 9, so that's 27 max HP I've lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just takes it off your score, so then you work out your modifier from that. Is that not right?
Yeah, but it now means my health and my total health has gone down considerably.
Gotcha. No, I understand. And your armor class is still 20. That is another hit,
Yep.
I'm afraid. Just a normal hit with the chain. Someone might be smiling on you. That is... No. 13 points of piercing damage. As he then rings the chain and this teeth and steel just lash into you again. That's his turn. Ansel, you hear like this deafening thunder strike of a chain as it critical hits. The sound of it echoes across the building. What do you do?
I think you hear the blood-curdling screams of a snow elf in pain.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
So I double move again and still don't make the rooftop.
Fucking hell.
But the shade will also double move
Yes.
to here, which will cause Grin to be -2 to saves and AC.
-2 AC saves. Gotcha.
As the shade dives into the shadow of Grin and just starts tearing strips away from the...
It burns. It tickles. Anything else on your turn, Ansel?
I physically can't. I mean, I guess I'll move my familiar up with me, but...
The light of the sickle moons beams down on the battle as it continues. Bogram, it's your turn. You've just watched Grin just smash Silaster with just a seismic attack.
I mean, there's very little I can do to actually help Silaster, because I also have lost a shit ton of health anyway, so I think we're all a bit buggered. First things first, as a swift action, I will activate my Fear Aura.
Okay.
So that is a will DC 20 now. That's gone up a little.
And he's at -2.
And he's at -2.
saves.
Yeah, he is. Man, sorry, that is a pass quite easily, I'm afraid, just on the die roll.
Okay, so he is not
it's fine.
shaken.
Yeah.
And next, I will just stand my ground. Having stepped forward and tried to cast this spell, I kind of, as he's just shrugged it off, livid. Ah! And there's just a huge negative energy burst that goes off and gets him. Can he also do another will DC 20?
That is also a success.
So he'll take half.
Okay.
It's 22, so he will take 11 points of negative energy damage. The problem now, Silaster, is I think you're going to retreat. You should retreat. Yes? I mean, I don't know what you're going to do, but I think you're going to retreat. And if you retreat, I'm left and he's just going to go for me.
Well, we'll see.
I'm going to move. Because I've just done a swift and then a standard with the burst. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to move over there.
Won't that provoke an attack?
Well, I mean, it is going to provoke an attack of opportunity. There's not a lot I can do.
Yeah, you've
really,
already
though,
cast,
is there?
so
But
you will
if
you
I
leave his threat.
stay here, you'll move, he'll attack me. If I move, it's an attack of opportunity and only get 1 attack. It's the lesser of 2 evils. So I'm going to move to there. My normal armor class is 15.
Yeah, he brings the chain down with a echoing strike. 15, did you say?
Yes.
That's a hit.
Okay.
$12 points of piercing damage.
That's okay. It's piercing as well, so...
Yeah, you absorb some of that, don't you?
Yeah.
That was his attack of opportunity. You've moved over there.
Ow.
That was that.
Big time. Ow.
That was your turn. We're back to the top of the round. Silaster, blood just pours from your midriff and middle. Like, yeah, blood comes out. Like, that's a serious amount of constitution damage you took. Bleary-eyed, you see Grin, the blue skin, the cracked tusks. What do you do?
Well... Silaster will look around and he can't see Ansel yet, so he's going to tumble
Yep.
to here.
You duck beneath his strike.
Don't need to roll that one,
I know,
but
yeah. Just
yeah.
for flavour. Yeah.
for flavour. And he will, as a swift action, drop into the Pearl of Black Doubt, and then he's going to attempt to throw a strand of shadow around Grin's neck.
Okay. Now, is this subject to spell resistance, or is this just... I believe supernatural.
You know,
cards.
it is supernatural.
So you're going to have to make a caster level check, which is odd for you. So that's your level, plus a d20.
Oh, never mind. 18.
Fortunately, that's not enough. Your shadow garrote leaps forward, and whoom, the chain is the thing that comes between it and the shadow garrote and him, as he casts the magic aside with it. Anything else on your turn?
No, I've swift, I've moved, I attempted. And yeah, because for the moment Silaster just sees Bogram, so he's going on that assumption at the moment until circumstances change.
That's your
He's
turn
not going
then.
to throw someone under a bus, yeah.
My word, okay. Oh, man. He turns and he looks at you, Silaster. And then you see his sort of gaze flip between you and Bogram behind him, and he just raises up a hand. Can you both make a reflex saving throw?
I saw this coming. We're in a line. Why are we in a line?
I don't know, but it might be a ray.
Why are
It
you
might
in a
be a
line?
cone.
Why are we in a line? I didn't mean to stand in a line. I was just trying to run
Look out,
away.
boys.
No, I'm in the wrong type of stance. I don't get a bonus. Oh, 22.
14. I don't get a bonus. Of course I don't get a bonus.
Silaster, you hurl yourself out of the way as a cone of cold erupts towards you. However, Bogram,
I love a good cone of cold.
Rusty!
that is 12 points
We don't
of
get
cold
no-
damage.
Okay.
That was merciful. Is making up for that initial roll, I think. Yeah, just ice and frost just cracks up towards you as cone of cold erupts towards you. Silaster, because you have evasion, you don't get any of that, do you? So
Yeah.
as you were successful, how is it that Silaster, as badly injured as he is still able to hurl himself out of the way of the elements of his choice, ice?
Silaster just throws himself to the floor, where the cone just passes over his hood,
Amazing.
and then, just as it seems to subside, springs back up.
Fantastic work. Yeah, you managed to roll out of the way as like icicles start springing up from through the floor and stuff as the cast ends. That was his turn. Ansel, it's your turn.
So Ansel will come round the corner.
So as you come around the corner, Ansel, this is important. You come around the corner, and this is the first time that you see what they're up against. And suddenly it becomes instantly clear. You see the shade standing in the shadow of Grin, and you remember the shade pointing upwards when discovering the pipe of Scardy. Surely the attack came from above. As you rush around the corner, what do you do?
Grin, I'm so glad you came. And Ansel will just launch Eldritch Blast at him.
Make a caster level check.
So my caster level, because of the class I've chosen, is a...
I think we just lost Dom.
No, I've still got Dom.
I've got Dom.
Oh, I haven't got Dom. That's really weird. Shall I?
Dom is
refresh?
refreshing.
Yeah. Oh, great.
Like a tall drink of water.
Let me know if you get him back, because he hasn't changed for me. He's just gone
He's
to
back.
his picture.
He's back.
He's roading for me. There we are. Thanks, mate. And that is a perfectly excellent success of the caster level check.
Yeah. So, Sickening Blast, 15 on his touch, he's -2 to AC.
He is -2 on his AC, and that slams hard into his touch armor class. You just hit him with a detonating blast on the attack.
And the beautiful thing is that Ansel is hyper-powered by the moons.
Yes, the sickle moon smiles. Oh my god.
25 points of damage.
Bam! The blast smashes him straight in the chest, and he gives a feral screech. A few teeth come flying out.
He needs to do a Fortitude save, DC 19. He's at -2 to saves.
Oh my goodness, that is a fail. That is a fail on his save. He is sickened.
He's sickened, excellent. So he, just for clarity at this point, he's -2 to attacks.
Yeah.
While he's next to the shade, he's -4 to saves, -2 to checks, -2 to weapon damage, and -2 to AC. And since he's got all that, why not also throw a curse at him?
Yeah. There we go. So that's a will save.
Will save DC 18, and obviously he's -4 to saves.
That is a pass. He is successful.
Shit. He's immune to my curse
Okay.
for 24 hours.
But you see him retch and double over as he is successfully sickened by your power, though, Ansel. Anything else on your turn?
That's everything.
Fantastic. That was Ansel's turn. Bogram.
Bugram just casts negative energy into himself, the maximum amount that he can do, because otherwise he's going to die. Inflict critical wounds, which is 4d8 plus 9, 29 hit points back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and moves to here. That is my turn.
Yeah, your turn is complete then as you begin casting this negative power into you to try and restore yourself, Bogram. You see the chain go round in the air, resetting itself, but it is not his turn. Silaster, you act before him as we're back to the top of the round.
As a swift action, Silaster will take a puff on his inhaler, his atomizer. So that is...
I'm really sorry, but that's going to provoke an attack of opportunity. He has reached 10, and he has a chain.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
Sorry, mate.
That's okay.
AC.
I thought 22. I thought I was out of range.
What is it like as you just evade being struck as the chain sings down at you?
You know what? I'm in the Pearl of Black Doubt. So instinct is kicking in at this point. It's not me dodging. It's instinct is forcing my body away. And at the last second, as I go to quaff a potion, just something goes, whoa, like this, just clicks in my head. If he hits me again, just let me know, because things have changed.
Yeah, I understand. Well, I'll certainly let you know if he hits you. Don't worry about that. Anything else on your turn, Silaster?
I take... Well, that's how much I heal.
Yeah, that's how much you heal. So that was your bonus. Sorry, Swift. Sorry, to heal. Free, whatever we call it.
That's a shame. It doesn't take me anywhere past my new total.
Oh, no. I dread to think what your new total is after that, mate, honestly. So yeah, go on. That was your potion. That's a free. So what else are you doing?
Free. He looks at his shadow abilities and then just goes, and then he gets his hand ready as he charges forward with an attempt to push his hand into Grin's chest.
You watch as he's sort of ready for you. He's swinging that chain like it's a standoff, and then you rush towards him. Make your attack.
23 to hit.
23 is a hit. The shade grabs onto his shoulders at the last second, which allows you to just smash your attack into his chest.
Now I'm not in a shadow hand stance, so this actually comes at a minus. That is 3 points of damage. However,
However, you got any more?
As I make contact, I'm able to push my hand into his chest, grab some of his muscle for a bloodletting strike. As I pull it out, can he make a fortitude save?
He would do his best. He
DC
is on -4 to
18.
saves, if I'm not mistaken, Ansel. DC 18.
Correct.
Yes. It is fortitude, though.
It is fortitude. Sadly, I'm afraid, even with that, I think I can tell just but yeah, that is a pass, I'm afraid. Sorry, Silaster, he resists.
That's okay. He takes 2 constitution damage.
Oh, okay.
Just a given.
Okay, you're gonna make me do some maths as well. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Okay, well that's actually quite easy to do for him, thankfully. Okay. He gives a guttural, like, belching yell as you draw, like, his life's essence from him slightly, and he staggers, like, the chain scraping across the ground, causing sparks to fly as you've struck him. He's going to provoke an attack of opportunity from you, Silaster.
He'll try and take it. That is possibly a critical.
Hello.
Critical.
Definitely not a critical.
Oh, you could have done with that.
Like
You could have done with
emotion.
that. That is a hit, however, so do your damage.
6 points of damage.
6 points of damage as he just goes and just his torn, disgusting cloak flies back behind him as he just lifts into the air, and as he reaches his full height that he can reach of 40 feet, zoom, vanishes.
Son of a...
Another trick of his playbook. You don't know if he's gone or not. That's his turn. Ansel.
Ansel activates C invisibility.
40 feet above the battlefield, Grin is hovering above Silaster, saliva drooling down his chin.
I see you, Grin.
So I won't bother making him vanish because you can see him.
And unfortunately, he's out of range of the shade.
40 feet in the air, yeah.
But we can try and we'll keep trying to blast him. I don't think there's any point trying to cast a spell. So yeah, I'll have to do cast a level check, presumably, to try and hit him.
That's right, yep. So as your magic reaches into the air to strike at him, you have to push through the resistance.
25.
It just carves through it like a hot knife through butter. Your spell attacks go straight for his touch armor class.
13 on his touch, and he doesn't have any reductions on his AC.
Is a hit.
Oh, that must have been close.
Sure was.
But everybody sees 26 points of Eldritch damages. Ansel just... I think he gestures at the moons, and instead of coming from him, it sort of rebounds from him down in a sort of crossfire onto the entity. Probably doesn't really light him up, but it certainly gives everyone else a direction of where to look.
Oh, it certainly does. You slamming your Eldritch power into him, and he is for a moment illuminated with moon fire as he's hovering there above you. But then, because mechanically it doesn't have any effect to that, that's all you see. You see a glint of him. You know it confirms he's still on the battlefield because you saw the Eldritch power smash into him, which I think is more than fair. That was Ansel's turn, unless he's got anything else up his sleeve.
No, although I'll move slightly closer, I think. I won't move in any way that would create a big line, but I will move closer. Oh no, that would make a line potentially. I'll move to there.
Very good.
He goes, he sees Bograms, he retreats.
Yeah, that would be about 30 feet of movement.
It is...
Let's make him work for those lines if he's going to use them.
Yeah, that's fair. That is Ansel's turn. Bogram. Obsidian. Your turn.
I mean, I can't see him. I really have nothing I can do. I will just cast another. We'll do an inflict serious wounds this time upon myself, which is 3d8 plus 9 instead of the 4d8. Oh, you motherfucker! 19. That could have been better. And that will be me. Nothing else I can do.
All right, and with that, we're back to the top of the round. Silaster, it's your turn. Grin has risen into the air and vanished, but you see him illuminated by Eldritch Moonfire. What do you do?
Silaster is going to take a full round action to reset his maneuvers. He's going to just focus and attempt to come up with a plan.
Okay, well, unfortunately... Is that all your turn?
Yeah.
Zoom. With just a standard movement, he's able to swing down, so he's about 10 feet in the air above you, Silaster, whilst invisible.
He's flanking me.
Oh, he's still there.
With himself.
Flanking you with
With
Scardy.
himself.
Scardy, you bastard!
Yeah, he's there the whole time. There you go. He just swings down out of the air and is just going to try and rake at you with his chain from invisibility, which means he's going to attack your flat-footed armor class because he's striking at you from being invisible. Unless you have anything to stop yourself from being caught flat-footed in any case, I don't think so.
Nope, 16.
That is a hit. It's a movement and a hit, so it's just a one strike. Let's see what it does. This vicious chain ripples down with an echoing smash. Ah! That is 21 points of piercing damage, Silaster.
Oh. I'm okay.
I thought you were dead then, my god.
There's a
that's
lot of
him.
blood coming from me, but I'm
Absolutely,
okay.
blood pours from you as this strike rains down from the night sky, and appearing silhouetted by those two moons just 10 feet above you is that floating, terrible figure. That's his turn. Ansel, it is your turn.
So if I moved to here, could I reach him with my extra long arms?
5, yes.
Because it's 5 feet, but
Yeah,
diagonally
yeah,
is still...
You can do it at will, yes, absolutely you can.
Cool. He's 10 feet above the ground, isn't he? So I will move the shade to there, but it won't make any difference, I don't think. So I will engage with him
My word.
with some claws. Although actually, no, I won't. I'll still do a ranged attack because there's no reason to take the 1 point reduction in thing for. So to try and overcome his resistance,
Yep.
9. I do not. I just blast into the
the-
air and it.
The chain just ripples in a shockwave, just bouncing the attack, the magical attack with the chain.
Well, that's okay for now.
Okay, yeah. Anything? That's all for you, Ansel.
Yeah, moved and I did an attack.
Okay,
Or
that
missed
is
an attack, anyway.
you. Obsidian, your turn.
I will summon my spectral hand,
Let me.
whack it on there, and I'm not going to do anything else.
Okay, that's
Because
fair
that's a spell, that's all I can do.
enough. Yeah, absolutely. No, totally fair. These things
I
have got
now
to be
have
set
it, and I'm fully prepared to nail his ass.
Okay, it should be appearing. There you go. You should have control.
Do you feel in control?
Anything else on your turn? You said that was it, wasn't it, Obsidian?
That is me.
So as the spectral hand ruptures into existence, we move back to the top of the round. Silaster, blood pours from you, yet you look on defiantly as the ogre mage snarls down above you. What do you do? 10 feet in the air.
Jump.
10 feet.
For why does he need to be on the ground with you when he can just float above you and just smack you about?
Can you retreat? Can you heal yourself? Can you be safe? Can you not die?
I've got ideas.
Don't die, Silas! I love you.
Just
I
looking
promise I'll never die.
I will never die.
Okay. Firstly, Silaster will drop into the Child of Shadow stance as a swift action.
Vroom. Which means...
And then...
That's the one that you get a mischance on, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Then he will tumble to here.
Mm-hmm.
So he does a flip backwards. And then...
He did a flip!
Then he did a flip. He's going to attempt to get him around the neck again.
Okay, pass a level check. Absurd as it is to be asking you this.
Is this a supernatural ability?
It is.
It's not subject to spell resistance.
Is it not?
Supernatural abilities are not subject to spell resistance. Only spells and spell-like abilities. I just looked it up in the DM's handbook because I have one and I wanted to know whether it was worth trying.
Well, that's a shame because you just wasted a critical on it.
I did.
My bad. I assumed. I mean, I did ask. And you said it was. So.
I thought it was.
My bad. Never mind. There you go. Food for thought. In that case, then.
Yes.
That roll is null. What do you do?
Well, I need to make a touch attack
Okay.
as I throw a garrote around his neck. 18.
18 is a hit on his touch.
Oh, excellent. Then he takes... ...22 points of damage as I start
talking.
choking him out. However, as that's probably not killed him, can he make a fortitude save, please? DC 16.
He is minus... he doesn't... Does he have this minus against saves from the... shade?
Not from the shade, but from the
Sickened,
sickened.
yeah, so it's minus...
So it's just -2, not -4.
Case, which means he passes.
That's okay, he's not flat-footed.
Okay, he's not flat-footed.
Basically, the garrote breaks after I do the damage.
Yeah, he gives a rasping snarl as the power begins to just choke him, and then he manages to shake it off as it becomes his turn. He will look down with fire and fury in his eyes. Oh, have we lost everyone? I know there's Matt and there's...
Nope, you're back.
Okay. Ooh. Oh no. That's me, I think. I'm gonna refresh. Fingers crossed. It's not doing anything. Oh dear. That might have done something. Fingers crossed.
Well, he's back.
It's me. It was me that time. It was me that time.
Repeated what you just said.
I'm really hoping. I'm hoping to God.
Right. For some reason, my DM screen's doing it as well, but hopefully that'll just stop with that wheel. That's fine. Okay, what was I saying? So it is Grin's turn, and at the moment he has just been struck with two really effective attacks. One from Silaster and one from Ansel. I think with this one, because I genuinely can't decide. I don't think you go for Bogram because Bogram's been out of the fight for a bit. And he's not done anything to him, so I think it's only fair to do a 50-50 between Silaster and Ansel. Ansel, would you like to roll 1d6 or d4? Low, it's you. High, it's Silaster.
Low, it's me.
It's you. He's going to do 2 attacks against your armor class, Ansel, which is...
Lovely stuff. My armor class is 16.
That is a hit. 2 sizable slams from the chain come ripping down at you.
It may not make any difference, but bear in mind he is -2 to attacks.
That's oh shit! I didn't check. I think he made it by some way, to be honest.
It's not a high armor class, so it's
I think
probably
he-
fine.
Yeah, for the second one anyway, he definitely did. So
It's higher than mine.
yeah. 16 points of piercing for the first.
So that's 15 with my damage reduction.
21 points of piercing damage for the second.
Well, that makes it simple. Because -1 is 46. Cool. I'm fine. I'm
Oh, I thought you
I'm
said
over
I
high.
thought you
one.
said that makes it simple. -1.
No. Damage reduction is -1, so that takes it to 20, which makes my maths easier.
Okay, fine. Oh my god, that was terrifying. I felt my bum go. Listen, this is the risk we all took, in the words of Galadriel. Let's
What
see.
our bums going.
Where our bums go. That's exactly what she said.
Those famous
The
words.
famous words
She
from
did-
Tolkien.
She was
when my-
always talking about bums.
when my bum goes out. It was a risk we all took. Anyway, that was Grin's
pass.
full round of attacks
Squeaky
on
bum
you,
test.
Ansel. It is now your turn. How do you respond?
Well, Rob, I'll respond with a full round of attacks back.
Do it.
So it's 2 attacks. Is that 2 rolls for spell resistance, or yeah? I'll do both now. One after the other. So this is the first attack, which will not hit, and the second attack 20.
Unfortunately, doesn't make it through.
Oh, I am not likely to hit.
It's
But
it's a tough one.
with the savage sort of slashing at the air with super long arms, that does unleash my Dreadful Wrath ability, which means a 4-round attack, 20-foot radius, shaken test, will DC 20, and he's obviously -2 from
He's already shaken, so
He's not shaken, he's sickened.
Sickened, sorry. How much?
DC 20 will.
That's a failure.
Excellent. He's also shaken.
So
Shaken,
now,
as
minus.
-4 to attack saves and checks, -2 to weapon damage.
Oh, you're a good man.
-4.
I might not be hitting, but I am
Listen,
causing
that's all it
him
is.
problems.
So as you're like swiping at him, what is it like? As despite your attacks not landing, the power of the sickle moons conspire against him regardless.
I think from his point of view, with Ansel's claws and with the shade behind him, also with like effectively, he's not actually attacking him, but he's mirroring everything. And the white of both of those, and then the white of the moons above, and it's just getting like too much, and it's just like it feels like a constant sort of burden on him, just pressing down as if he's like it's a matter of time until something gets me.
Yeah, and he gives out a hollow shriek. Bogram, it's your turn.
So I will be just going for a touch attack.
Okay.
Touch him.
Oh,
What?
Mother
Possibly a fumble?
actual shitter.
Oh no!
I don't know how a fumble would work at range with a spectral hand.
It's an attack.
I mean,
could
it is an
target one
attack.
of us.
It could
Yeah,
target,
I sort of think that's all it could do. It's not going to, like, trip anyone. It can't physically do anything, but...
Well, we don't know.
He's 16
Let me look.
on his touch armor class.
Yeah, so that is. Oh, sorry. Yes, so we had to confirm the fumble, and that is just a miss. So don't worry about it.
Okay. Dagnamit.
Yeah, we'll have to work that out. If that, we'll have to look into that for sure.
Yeah, I am going to, as a free action, quaff a potion.
Yep. So your spectral hand goes to get him, but some
Roll
malign
20
power
occurs.
called roll 20
Roll 20 that hates me.
conspires against you, and Grin moves out of the way of the spectral hand. You take a potion. What potion? Do you need to roll anything, or are you okay?
No, it's a standard thing. It's just a bonus. It's a Eagle Splendor.
Okay, it's good to check. Okay,
Good to know.
fantastic. Yep. So you swig an Ingle Splendor. That was Bargrim's turn. Silaster. Grin still hovers in the air, but he is howling and shrieking at this point. You sense that there is less enjoyment in this endeavour of his now.
Well, it's handy that Silaster refreshed his abilities. Now, I'm not sure what check you permit me to do here, but what I want to do is a shadow jaunt to 20 feet in the air, 10 feet above him, and then as I'm falling, I want to do a bloodletting strike as I fall through him.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I'll allow that. It's cool. Why not? You can teleport above him and you can attack, so yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
In which case, as I'm falling, let's see if I hit.
Why am I rolling?
29!
Oh, that was for the save for the thing. Okay. 29 is a hit against his armor class. I've rolled for the save already.
Well, let me do the damage first,
Yeah, by all means.
which is 14.
Crunch, you smash on top of him as you...
And then, Fortitude DC 18.
18 on the die. But with his minuses, still means he passes, I'm afraid. So he gets
That
half.
means he just takes an extra 2 Constitution damage.
What is the attack like as you rise into the air and smash down upon him?
Silaster just appears above him, and as he's falling through the air, Silaster just maneuvers himself into a dive position very quickly, and as he's just shooting down, rakes his hand through his chest, ripping out muscle and tendon as he falls just almost through him.
Oh my word. You just go, you rake down him, and, parts of his belts and stuff get ripped off. A big tear in his cloak comes away as you just basically half pass through the beast, and you land on the ground. Do you want to give me a jump check or a balance check, whichever you prefer, to see if you land it, because you did drop out of the air. So I want to see if you land on your feet. It's not going to be hard. DC 12.
I will take a balance check, which automatically I would pass anyway.
That's fine. Yeah, so you land. All cool. Fantastic.
Thankfully, because that was a 2.
As you land...
Thank God that's a high score.
As you land, Silaster, you're still for a moment, and you just feel rain falling down upon you. Or is it snow? But that snow is red. Drops of red come raining down around you, pooling around you as you are stood there motionless upon the ground. And you look up, and Grin is still hovering there, a massive gouge out of his side, and he goes, no. Boom! It's his turn, and he erupts into gaseous form and vanishes up into the night sky. and you watch him go, droplets of blood raining as he does.
Motherfucker.
I don't think I've encountered an enemy that's as frustrating to fight as him before.
I mean,
He's a real pest, isn't he?
I'll take that as a compliment. He, listen, gaseous form. He can do it whenever he wants. The ogre mage can just do that. So there we go.
It's not really a compliment or a dig. It's neither of those things. It's a comment on the luck of the situation. You didn't choose to put me there, but every time we fought him, he has immediately, utterly savaged me before I could do anything. And then put me on the back foot so that I can't be offensive in any way.
Yes.
Nothing.
It has not gone unnoticed. When you said, "Oh, we'll send Obsidian up," I was like, "Oh man, he's going to be so fucking annoying.
He's going to hate me."
God, well, I was really hoping I could take some damage, but then respond. But I couldn't take 39.
Honestly,
damage
that was insane. That roll. That isn't a usual thing, but yeah, he yeah, it was pretty wild on that.
Well,
okay, well, the battle is done.
Well, Obsidian will walk over, pick up the bird cage, and just thrust it at Silaster. Here's your fucking bird cage.
As you do that, Silaster topples over and hits the deck because he has substantial damage.
Oh no. Don't die.
Is everyone not okay?
Don't die, Silaster.
Ladies and
If you
gentlemen,
I can't promise I won't bring you back as a zombie.
the brutality of the critical hit table. I think you were quite lucky there, actually, to be honest, Silaster. All things considered.
I am now as strong as I am charismatic.
Oh no!
The critical hit.
Oh no!
The critical hit table has been used twice since it's been active, and it's rolled above 90 both times.
Decapitate and abdominal injuries, two of the worst, obviously.
It's been brutal. Where are the ones and twos been? Come on, D100, fuck you.
Okay.
So not okay. Now what? Shall we? Let's go and fight that screaming thing.
Now.
Yeah, right now.
Let's do it. Let's go now.
I mean, I'm ready to go. I'm fine.
Night time.
We're about half.
Okay. I'm down by 11.
Silaster will take a thingy. Atomizer.
Silaster. So, let's heal. You can. We'll get your wounds cleaned up, and then tomorrow, we'll try and sort out your injuries. We'll say.
I will find a healer now.
Ability score loss. Injuries.
I will find a healing house this evening.
Yeah. Oh, this evening? You want to find one this evening? Sure thing.
So you can all give me. You can give me a spot check.
Ideally, Corella and Lorethian, but
A spot check.
No, I can't.
13.
That's good.
9.
Thankfully, Silaster has just enough wits about him to sort of to think of it. Where you struck him, as described, you had torn where his cloak was. He has a few belts over his broad bare chest, and when you struck, one of those bandoliers came free, along with part of his cloak. There appears to be a pouch containing a few things that had been on Grin at the time.
Interesting.
Doesn't require a search check because you well, you can just open a pouch.
Just a pouch.
Yep. Inside there are two what appear to be magic scrolls, and a missive, and of course, a collection of a variety of teeth.
Are any of them ours?
I was going to say, do they look like my
Does owe us
teeth?
some teeth?
I'm not sure I'd be able to recognise my own teeth.
Give me a heal check to see if you can tell if any of them are your teeth.
How I would recognise my own teeth. A dentistry check.
22.
22.
10.
12.
This one looks like mine.
It doesn't fit!
I'm trying to ram a randomest tooth.
Yep. So
Right
you
in the
don't
back
know.
of that's an inside.
Wait, what did you get, Silas? Sorry, was that 22?
22, yeah.
Oh my word. So look at those, you're like, these don't look like they belong to elf or man. These look like very strange collection of teeth. Most of them bestial, but one of them you definitely recognise to be a vampire's canine. One that the creature would specifically use to draw blood with. So you imagine that might have some alchemical purpose. The fang of a vampire, you don't know.
I'll pass it to the guys. There you go.
You can now make we'll go with what else you find, and then I'll be requiring a spellcraft, but we'll do that afterwards for those who are capable of doing spellcraft checks. The scrolls. They'll need a spellcraft check too. So give me 2 spellcraft checks. Not particularly hard.
15?
Oh, natural 20.
23.
Well, I'm so glad things are going well for me now. Where was that a minute ago? 29.
So you find that you have these 2 scrolls. One of them is a scroll of charm person. You suspect maybe to aid in Grin's
I'll just
attempts at subterfuge.
hand that over to Ansel. Ansel, that's all yours, mate.
The other one appears to be a scroll of vampiric touch, but a spell level to the maximum of its ability.
Ooh, I can use that.
And that,
you
you
should definitely keep
suspect,
that then.
might have been what Grin had used in his opening gambit. Another one of these. So that's 10d6 to the vampiric touch, which was what got you, Bogrim, and hit you basically with like 5s and 6s galore. It was insane. I was like, oh my god!
Yeah, I mean, I knew it was a massively high level.
It was.
Because, like, that's really hard to do
Yes.
that much damage.
Yes, it is.
I do 4d6. 1 scroll of vampiric touch. Yeah, I wouldn't mind keeping hold of that, boys, just because I can do that with no checks.
Yeah,
or
do
anything.
it.
I can just cast it.
Yep, and that's temporary HP, so whatever you drain, you remember you gain in temporary hit points. So even if that's beyond your total, that goes on top. Which obviously made Grin even more difficult to deal with in that battle.
But the DC, oh no, it's just a touch, isn't it? So it doesn't.
It's a touch, yeah, so you don't have to worry about that.
That's all good.
Yep.
Wish.
Then there's the missive that simply reads, "My beloved Grin. The work goes. By all account, the work goes excellently, and according to my every design. It is soon now." In 9 days' time, there will be no going back. Soon, my most faithful servant, you will be rewarded for your devotion in ways beyond your counting. And then it's signed with an N. And you remember that Grin always referred to Darek as Nemorator. It was where you first heard that name.
9 days. That's
That's
9
not long.
days of hardcore level grinding, boys.
Let's go to the sewers and kill some rats.
Yes.
What? Say
What
that
days?
again.
Forest. Kill some pigs.
What day is it at the moment?
You do the numbers. Today is the 15th of Reaping. That will fall on the 23rd of Reaping. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, the 23rd.
Right.
Well, that's concerning.
That's the day of the funeral, yeah. That makes sense. They wanted some big gathering, right? They want everyone together. They're going to do some horrible terrorist attack.
We need to find out what that is.
Weaken everyone significantly so they can take the whole city.
Maybe there's information underground.
It was a horrible idea, but at the same time... No, just a horrible idea. What a horrible way to get an undead army.
Yeah.
Well, I think we need to get Silaster to
A healer.
a healer. Yeah.
100%.
Very good.
Did you say you had a preference?
Well, just buy some potions. They're not cheap though, mate.
Corellan, Arethian.
Oh, Corellon. So you would seek someone who worships Corellon, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
The father of Elvenkind.
The mother.
Ah, I thought Corellan was a chap.
Corellon is a lady, the lady of nature, that is no more caring to her subjects than the wind would be. So you truly hope that a blessing will be upon you, but you just don't know with her. So fickle and uncaring is she. Yeah, you know that there is a grove of Corellon within the Path of Faith?
Yeah, just anything to assist the elves.
Let's go there and see if we can convince them to restore all those points, because that's a lot. That's a lot to ask.
Even if I spend a couple of days resting in a house of healing with Corellan and Arethian, it will be, I think we said, 3 times quicker than if I was in a house or some places, or 2 times quicker.
I don't know. Did we say that about ability damage? Like, we said it about health. I don't know. I suppose it is constitution damage. I don't know, man.
I mean, it might be sped up slightly. I don't know. But
I don't think.
I don't know if we've ever done that.
No, Bogram didn't get that when he was resting in his house for charisma damage. So no, I'm sorry.
Not in his home, but
I don't
Bogram
think
didn't
we've
go
ever
to a
agreed to
healer. I just bought a potion, but I don't know
I'll
whether
see
it
if-
was a thing we did back in the day. I'm not.
yeah, I'll see if they
No
offer
rules.
anything,
Okay.
because they may have some facilities I can buy. Either.
We can certainly go and ask. Usually, contributions they take into churches and stuff, don't they, to see if perhaps we can get a few of those points restored, and then maybe buy a couple of potions of minor restoration.
Well,
But let's go. We'll go to that church.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to the grove of Corellon then, in that case.
Yeah.
I did not suspect this, so let's see if I
Going
have
to the
anything.
Grove Man.
Let's see if I have anything that can represent that. I don't really think so, to be honest.
Bring
so-
up a picture of Jesus.
I don't actually have a picture of Jesus on here, I'm afraid.
That's you weren't prepared.
I wasn't prepared, no. So instead, because it's by the light of the crescent moons, that will have to do.
That's okay.
As by the light of the crescent moons, you go about the streets. Silaster, every step is agony. This latest contest against Grin has you wincing as, while you were able to drive him off, he was able to do significant damage to you.
yeah, Silaster is coughing up blood.
Has
At a regular
Silaster
basis.
ever been this badly injured? I wonder. I don't think in the campaign he has he?
No.
Oh.
This is why he wants to see a healer. He's not.
Has he not been knocked below 0 before?
I don't think
No,
he has,
but-
has he?
Not. I mean, there's not below 0 from like repetitive damage, but not a single hit doing substantial injuries.
Yeah.
I mean, this is chronic injuries.
Yeah. So you limp your way to the path of faith, and it is not long before you find a place of peace. The moonlight throws a stark shade over a number of very, very tall silver trees, silver birch. And just walking through this grove in the middle of the night, even the fact that you're in the middle of the city, there is a timeless feeling to this place, as if the night isn't moving. The moons appear to be standing still, like you're standing in a moment of time, and you immediately feel relieved and at peace. There appears to be a great stone altar that has been worn by many years, yet despite this, it still holds a remarkable shining beauty. It appears to be kind of made of a mixture of marble and natural rock. Water appears to pool from this structure, and at its base there stands, kneels, an elven woman, garbed in flowing white, hooded, and staring up at the stars. And as you arrive, she will turn, and in an ethereal voice she will say, "So the rumours are true. A snow elf has passed the threshold of this city. You forgive my pointing out, but there are not many of your kind that wander this world."
Assuming in Elvish.
Oh yes, sorry, I should have said yes, absolutely, in Elvish, yeah.
If rumour has reached, and if you know of us, then know my humblest apologies for appearing unannounced. But, sister of the first of Seldarine, if you're aware of us, you may know why I'm here. As he then takes off his coat to reveal the full extent of the injuries on his body. Which actually probably for you guys is the first time Silas has ever really taken off his coat.
And I think you should repeat for them as well what you just said, like what the name that you just gave as well.
Sister of the first of Seldarine.
Although, if this is in Elvish.
Oh yeah.
Well, this might be a chance to see if that pearl of speech. You could always try it.
Yes, let's say then, the Pearl of Speech, if you roll a 6 on a d6, it will be Elvish.
Does Bogram understand Elvish anyway?
No, he hasn't got a clue. He's quite enraptured and doesn't need to understand. He's just a bit like, wow.
Elvish.
Yeah, it's
Let's
pretty.
see
But
then.
you go ahead if you want to use a Pearl of Speech. That's cool.
Well, I might as well see what it does.
We'll let you happily.
Not Elvish.
It's not
Not
Elvish. Okay. Yeah, the words sound lyrical and as graceful as the falling water behind her. She will sort of incline her head and say, and it's almost like the first time that she acknowledges that you're injured, and but it's like she has one of those looks that isn't looking at you as in the creature of flesh and blood, but the spirit within you. She beholds that as she speaks, and she says, "You have come with many injuries, some fresh," and she gestures to the gaping wounds on your chest, "yet some from many years ago. I may not tend to these, but only offer you wisdom how you may find a balm for them in time. For now come, you must bathe." And she wisps to this pool, and the elves that are with her sort of like part to allow you passage. You stand in the water, wading in as you do, and you note that as your blood is like leaking into the water, you know it's almost like the stain of it dissipates in crystal light. Though you are still badly wounded, it seems that there is not a blemish that can mar this pool as you stand within it. I've got to bring up a spell now. She's going to look into your eyes, Silaster. I'm going to need you to do a will save. You can absolutely resist if it is your wish.
Knowing where he is, no.
She will put a hand on your shoulder. And say, there is much pain within you. Truly dreadful things have been inflicted upon you, like the barking of a loud dog.
Hounds of hell.
You hear the wolves once again. But also, you have inflicted great harm on others. Your eyes do not lie. You will find the blessing of Corallon within. And know that you will not find judgment here. But what you are doing leaves a mark. And these cannot be tended to as easily. And she puts a hand on your forehead and you just plunge back into the water. Bogromancer, you find yourself having to restrain yourself for a moment as this cleric of Corallon just plunges Silaster into the water. There is a bubbling, a frothing all about you, Silaster. How long can you hold your breath?
Not long at the moment. What is it again? We found this out last session.
Double your con score.
In rounds.
In rounds, yeah.
So my con score is currently 9, so 18 rounds.
And each round is 6 seconds. Maths kids, go.
108 seconds.
That's going to pass pretty
just about 2 minutes.
Rapidly, to be honest, Silaster. And you feel like the edges of your vision begin to swim. You see before you the elven cleric, once a serene figure, now a terrible lightning rod of nature connecting with you through the water, a terrifying wild face looking at you through the liquid, through the pool, and just as you begin to feel your life ebb away, you are drawn up, and air just rushes into your lungs as restoration is cast upon you. This spell functions like lesser restoration, except that it dispels negative levels and restores one experience, blah, 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 blah. So that's negative levels. Restores and restoration cures all temporary ability damage. So you rise, restored utterly, Silaster.
Wow.
No offense, but jammy sod.
Comes at a price, though.
She will
Good
look
to be
at you,
religious.
and it's
Being
like
elvish fucking sucks.
she looks directly at you, Silaster, as you think this comes at a price, and she will just nod and say, "The lady will make her wishes known."
I think at this point, you can't tell, Bogram and Ansel, if it's the water or if Silaster's crying, but something seems a little different about his eyes and his face. But in Elvish, he just says, "I will accept. I never meant to bring my burden. As the river flows, it is never meant to reach the trees. Only the sea."
You are as pure as driven snow in many aspects, young one. But you will bring no blight to this place of sanctuary. And with that, she'll sort of like give like a very serene nod and turn to face the structure once again. And it's only then that you see that sort of like half sort of like sculpted, half naturally formed is just this this rocky statue of a cruel looking goddess of the elves. All kinds of natural runic marks running through the stone. Trees growing from her back and from her head as if it were a long, luscious hair. You are restored, but given from this elf's words, doesn't sound like that's going to be something you can come to every time. Given something that she sensed about your demeanour, Silaster, you feel like she's seen into you, almost like she's looked into that bag of holding and seen some of the misdemeanours that you have been enacting. The night is now at its height. I'm a poet and I didn't even realise that rhymed.
Right.
What do you want to do with the rest of your evening, if anything at all?
Nothing.
We can
I'll go
double
home.
down and go into the sewer.
No. I'll go home.
I will just say, as Silaster puts on back his trench coat again, basically.
Yeah.
He was only wearing quite a thin, like just very plain vest, but he's not like that muscular. I mean, he looks as toned as probably an elf ever could, really. Mm-hmm. But he's pale skin. But you do see on his body not a lot of scars, but there are a few.
And now more. But the scars do not disappear, they remain.
He will part, knowing the price to pay for this will come later, but he will give a parting nod of heart, guide us as he leaves.
Very good. So yeah,
Did you not have to pay for that, Silaster? Ansel will say, because he didn't understand anything that happened in there.
Not a thing. Didn't understand it.
No,
No clue.
he didn't give any donation or
I have paid a
money.
greater price than gold or copper can buy. And it will come.
Being dunked.
It will come to me in time.
Huh?
And that concerns me. But it needed to be done.
Fascinating.
She was really pretty, but she was kind of scary.
Very austere.
As many of our kind are. As he
Indeed.
brushes the water off his face and his eyes again.
Okay, let's go.
you move through the night, and there's like crystal, like half frozen rain is kind of pouring down as you make your way back through the streets of Valdinor. You say, "Let's go." Are you just going back home?
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
To rest.
Not really much else we can do. I'm assuming that Scardy was his name. I'm assuming he's probably...
Oh, he's definitely dead.
Indeed.
We fell for it.
Yes, I should have checked that. That's my mistake.
No. Ours. Mine as well.
Your instincts
It
probably...
wasn't really my job. I just did what you asked me to do. So I'm not claiming any responsibility.
You can give me a wisdom roll or your level, which I imagine is probably better. So give me a level roll, as we'll continue to name it.
Just all of us, or
Silaster and Ansel, I'm afraid, as Bogram wasn't at the initial meeting. Oh wow.
25.
oh well, I'm not going to be there.
Well, both of you, that is
right,
more than
indeed.
enough. Both of you probably think, and Ansel, you're probably aided by the fact that the Shaggy kind of gave you that clue. Wasn't able to communicate to you exactly, but was there and did know that something had taken Scardy up, because when you'd seen when you asked him, well, what happened, it did that, didn't it? It pointed up, so you can imagine that something struck at Scardy the night that you took the cage from the Dust Flower, meaning you met the original Scardy, and then he was killed shortly after. So there we are.
But when we re-met him and were suspicious, I should have checked.
There's the tiniest hint. I said he ran his tongue along his teeth as he spoke to you.
Yes. yes.
But that could be any description, couldn't it? So,
It's a very David Tennant tell, that.
Yeah. Right, you return home, and I've just made a roll just to see if there's anything else going on. You're fine. You go home and you rest for the night. A very stark dawn arrives. The streets are wet from the rain, but it has stopped. A freezing mist is upon Valdinor.
What do we heal for being inside in a safe place? I've forgotten.
It's double your level, because your
Double.
safe is what we agreed, right?
Yes.
That rings a bell.
Yep, so double your level. So 18 points
Great.
of HP. Further brutality from the third edition, 3.5 edition. Yes. So as we are sort of in the latter half of the session, I suppose we should probably ask a few things about like what our plans are. What would you do today, given what happened the night before?
Well, what do we have to do now? Excuse me. I think obviously we know we've got the thing beneath the city. Problem is, we were sort of under the impression Grin was down there, and that's what we were going for. Now
It was.
I don't specifically know what it is we're trying to get to down there.
There is clue about the fugue prism or the light breakers or something down there.
Down there.
Yeah.
Information. Yeah, I mean...
Which means getting past the Call of the Dark?
Caller in the dark.
Caller in the Dark. I think has become our number one priority.
For sure. Or, as we had said, the idea of trying to release Pophis. So getting him out of there and popping him in a magic circle. We would need to get a magic circle.
And we need to get him out of there.
Yeah.
I do need to vanish for the morning to check a few things.
Okay.
Vanish?
But I can meet you all some point in the afternoon.
Okay.
So you could make this the day that you can prepare to do one of those two tasks.
Yeah.
So you can prepare to either get the scrolls you'll need or the magical capability to do a magic circle, or
this is
whatever you
it.
wanna
Like,
do
I
with the
really
crawler.
want to go raiding under the city now. I want to get that done. We've got to get past that thing in order to sort of enter that dungeon. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, so I think if
Or
you're
find an
going off
exorcist.
Silaster, then I find an exorcist. I'm not sure that's an official class. Bloody cool though. In that case, if you're going off to do something, I will go off and also have a hunt for scrolls. So there's a couple of scrolls I want to look for. Ansel, can you actually cast Magic Circle if we find the scroll? You can make that happen.
Depends what level it is, but probably.
We looked it up, didn't we, at the time? So
let's see, I might still have it open on my device. Magic Circle Against Evil is a level 3 cleric or sorcerer and wizard spell or paladin spell. Level 3.
oh, it's not actually
it's
as
level
high a level as
3.
I thought. That's
Well, that's
actually
Magic
not
Sorcerer,
Circle
I
Against
can
Evil.
guess
I
that.
imagine there might be stronger versions of it, but that will require some looking into.
I think one of the spells that is possible is the opposite to one of the spells that I've got, which is Unhallow. I think there is a Hallow, which I'm not 100% sure. I think might be a stronger version of that spell. But I think Magic Circle Against Evil will probably do the trick. I don't think we need anything stronger than that.
That's for the vampiric dominate ability, right, that we're talking about right now, yeah?
Yeah, to essentially snap him out of it,
Yeah,
put him in
that'll
there so that we
be
can
handy.
get information out of him. And so let's go and have a look and see if we can find the scrolls that we are looking for. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then. So your wish is to go get those scrolls, then.
Yes.
Silaster will go to you to do whatever you're doing as well, depending on what we roll. So, Bogrim and Ansel, one low on the D64, you choose. Silaster high. Matt, you can roll it if you like.
Alastair.
Hi, we go with Silaster. So Silaster, you move off then, fresh in the morning. As I say, it's a cold day, there's a cold mist in the air, but you move through the crowds of people thronging. There appears to be like a muted feeling in the city. Much more work is being done, building up to the funeral. As this coming and going is taking place, what do you do?
Well, I need to try and locate the Tower of Elvenkind, which I believe is potentially a part of the castle.
That's definitely the impression you received. Is there anyone you want to ask or anything you want to do regarding that to determine this?
Yes, actually. I'm going to head to the castle in order to find... Let me get the name. Creed of the Dragon Guard, to give him the Thanley report we have yet to give.
In that case, we will come back to you. As you remember that Creed would be with the Dragon Guard at the garrison of the city. We'll come back to you, Silaster. Boggrim and Ansel, you are on your way to do some shopping. So, do we have that link for that table that is so beautifully handy? I wish it would save. For some reason, it doesn't save into my Google Docs, and I don't know why. I know because it's on my page, on Sheets, sorry. Will it come up on Sheets? It did. I have it.
Ooh.
Very good. Google Sheets, everybody. So remind me then, Boggrim and Ansel, what it is that you search for.
I actually think it's just that one magic circle scroll, because I've just had a look at the spell on my spell list that I want, which I'd not looked at before because it's one level higher than I can cast, but I was hoping to get a scroll.
Wow.
But
It's level
in
3.
reading the description,
Yeah.
it won't work, I don't think, against the Caller in the Dark. But the magic circle is still a go, so we can search for that at least.
Yeah, certainly. So the magic circle scroll is you have a 50% chance to find it in a metropolis. So if you'd like to roll a d100, shall we say high is discover or low is discover? Your choice.
High should be discover, shouldn't it?
High
really?
should be discover. Let's find it then.
We should want to roll high.
So
Are we both rolling, or do we just get the one roll between us?
I imagine if you're both operating, I imagine you can both look. It would be mad not to, wouldn't it?
Go on, Ansel, you go first. You're going to be casting it.
100 coming up.
One big old hundy.
32.
Oh.
That's high.
Just, but yes, you're able to find one. Do you want to roll as well, just in case, Boggrim? See if there's another one around.
I'm not sure. I don't think we'll need another one, unless the spell... much to be desired as a trap, so it won't work as a trap. So no, there's no point in another one. Another one. Yeah.
Okay.
Just looking to see if there was anything else I could attempt from my higher level spell list to fight the Caller, but
so you move actually back to the religious district. You go back to the path of faith that you'd been the night before, and you return to that the old man that sits just outside the scaffolded temple of Palor. An old man wizened, yet he bears the old robes of some mystic order from a long time ago. You can actually give me either a history or religion roll on those robes, actually, if you have it.
I don't have either.
religion 22.
Yeah, you sort of like realise for the first time, maybe it's because you were in a rush last time because you were desperate to get those potions to restore your power, Boggrim, so you probably weren't thinking about it last time. Also, I didn't ask you. These are the robes that would have belonged to an ancient order known as the Sun Wardens, or the Wardens of the Sun. They would have held a powerful position at one point within Valdinor, yet the numbers are now diminished. But he sits there regardless, and he says, "Oh, it's you back again." And if you give him that offer to buy one of those, it will be 375 gold pieces, please. As it is a level 3 divine scroll.
Is that for the scroll?
Do you want to split that somehow, or shall I?
Sure, let's split it. Well, it's definitely a party thing, isn't it? We should definitely split it. It's 187.5 each.
Good.
Which is deeply annoying. But there you go.
Very good.
Ooh, I added it on. No.
Okay. Anything else you want to do whilst you're out and about?
I might get some more. I forgot what they're called. Medium healing potions. Moderate.
Yep, so we don't need to search for those because they are as common as you like. You just got to have the gold to get
Common
them.
as muck.
Yeah, basically. So moderate wounds, cure moderate wounds is 150 gold pieces per.
I would take 3. 3 are available.
Yep. So. So you take that from your kitty.
Lovely.
How much? Oh shit, me! I can't remember. I was just wondering because I foolishly wasted my last Eagle's Splendor. Because I took it and then he vanished. Potions. Just wondering whether I can actually afford it. I'm running rather low on funds.
What you after, sorry?
Which is unfortunate because D&D is supposed to represent a fantasy, not real life.
Dome.
I'm looking for Eagle Splendor. It is a 300 pieces. I don't remember what the table was based on.
Yeah, it's based on
Price or spell level?
It was spell level, so let me bring that up again.
Hang on.
So a potion, you said? Potion of Eagle Splendor?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Eagle Splendor is a level...
Potions is done by price, I do apologise. So how much is Eagle Splendor, does it say in the thing?
300.
300 gold pieces, exactly, fantastic. City, Metropolis, so that's 80%. 80% to find, so don't roll anything under 20 then in that case.
Skadoosh. 65. Good stuff. I only want the one.
There we go, yeah. So you're able to spend the 300 gold pieces and you are provided by some gnomish merchant, actually. Some potions.
My funds are starting to look...
Well, you have a bag of holding filled with kit and a Goshi's armaments. You have read will buy basically anything, so maybe you should go there. Sometime.
Yeah, we really should attempt to. I don't want to do it like in game.
We'll
maybe
do that. I'll tell you what. Then we can
negotiating.
Yeah, we'll do all the negotiating and Matt's outside of the session. We will just do the demonstration of it in the session at some point.
Yeah, okay, just because I think we should definitely try and figure out how much money we've got in total with party loot and everything we've got, because I know we've got more than that.
We'll do that throughout the week then, so we can say then that Silaster, Bogram and Ansel would have discussed this like the night before, so then you guys were ready to go and just clear out whatever you need to clear out today. Yeah. Great. Anything else whilst we're on the topic, or is that good?
I have nothing else I
think
want
we're
to do.
good.
Nothing else you want to take with you down to face the caller in the darkness?
Well, I mean,
Unless you want the week to think about it.
I don't know. Ansel, were you able to weaken it? Were you, any of your weakening stuff any good against it? Because it was smashing my DCs.
I think the only thing was the Dark Companion because it's a area effect.
Right.
And I think if I'd got close enough, no, actually, because it wouldn't have been susceptible to fear effects, so that wouldn't have worked either. But
I
because
have a
the Eldritch
couple
Blast
of-
is a spell-like ability and the Hexblade's Curse is a supernatural ability, I think it was.
Okay then.
I wasn't even able to hit them with it.
Let's agree then that along with you devising what you want to sell out of the bag of holding, if there's anything else that you want to try and buy, you can decide that across the week. So then when we come back next session, you'll be ready with what you want to buy, how much money you'll have to spend on that stuff, for you then to be able to take your excursion deep in under the Valdinor to face the caller in the darkness.
Perfect.
I just, I have got 3 options really against it as far as like necromancy abilities and stuff. So I can do the whole rebuke turn command,
Yeah.
which is the cleric ability, and that's based on its hit dice. But the thing is, because I've leveled up, I do stand a slightly better chance of beating its hit dice. But I don't know how many hit dice it's got. Who knows? So there might be absolutely no chance of that working. Or I've got Command Undead, the spell, which is kind of like Charm. It doesn't control as such, but it charms the creature. You can give basic commands to it, and it will do roughly what it's asked. Or I've got Halt Undead, which is basically like hold. At the moment, they're the 3 things that I have that I can actually do against it magically with necromancy. And I don't know if the thing will work against its hit dice because it's probably got too many, and it was smashing my save DCs. Beyond that, I can't hurt it, I can't touch it, I can't do anything to it.
So on that optimistic appraisal of the situation, we'll think about that and we'll come back to that next week. Then our vision will now move from the markets and the path of faith with Bogram and Ansel to the other side, before the great walls of the castle of Valdinor, or Castle Valdinor. You with your sort of your passage to go into sort of like the main quarters of the castle, Silaster, you don't find any issue getting in. And you make it clear, perhaps, or do you make it unknown that you're heading to the garrison, where you will find the Dragon Guard?
Yeah, if anyone questions, I would just be saying that I'm here to deliver a missive directly.
So we move then to the garrison.
Ooh.
And the rest of you are here as well, just because I knew, well, if all of you visit, we'll have all of your tokens down there. But also it means you can see. Hooray. You pass one of the vast curtain walls of the castle of Valdinor, and you see before you a statue of a many-headed dragon, shall we say. And beyond there is a grand building. And as you pass, a number of brilliantly robed in blue cloaks and shining armor, there stand the Dragon Guard that you so recognize. And as you get to this point, you can see that the ones directly in front of you will likely make some move to prevent you should you not announce yourself, as that's clearly hang on. Time to stop territory. What do you do?
Yeah. Well, Silaster, as they go to block, will just say, I'm here to deliver a message for Creed. A missive.
One of the Dragon Guard reach out and gauntlet his hand to look at what you are holding, and we'll turn to the other and say, just give a nod. Clearly seeing some detail on the missive. You are led inside, and they're sort of like in a great hallway before a vast map table. There stands the figure that you recognise, a figure that you recognise despite him not being helmed and upon a massive warhorse. You see Danico, the commander, the leader of the Dragon Guard, poring over details. You can see that he is in full motion of preparing for the funeral, now in 8 days' time. And as you enter, his eyes flick up, and he says, "It is indeed a long way from the plains of the Arrowhead. Well met again. I do not believe I got your name the first time."
No, it is Silaster for Luna. As he drops the head.
You were among the party that, some say, almost single-handedly routed Savage Doom from those lands.
That is correct, yes, they got what was coming to them.
Yes, well, we rode quite far just to be on clean-up duty, but suffice to say, routing and riding them down was a singular pleasure after I'd heard of their misdeeds and disgraces and travesties that they'd caused. Well met indeed. What brings you to the garrison halls of the Dragon Guard?
Well, it is Creed with who I seek.
He'll look to his right hand and say, "You did not say that you were expecting news, Knight Captain." Creed will sort of look and kind of give he steps forward, and you recognise him because you'd seen him previously as well. He had been on patrol, I believe, in the throne room at one point when, and he has sort of longish blonde hair. He removes his helm and says, "You had an audience with the First Voice and Arcane Zarya."
That is correct, yes.
What news could you possibly bring me?
Well, we didn't have chance. We were working with our associates' work at the time, but I come bearing news from Thanley.
From Thanley? And my cousin yet dwells there.
Indeed. I'll pass the missive over. I will not apologise for this.
He will read it, and his eyes will widen in horror as he reads a full report of his cousin, the militia captain, charged with the defence of Thanley, and how his duty was compromised in the face of a druidic threat. The tale of the water elemental claiming the lives of many in the town, and him basically conspiring, isn't it? Working with with the elder, I believe. I can't actually remember their names, sadly. I was desperately scrolling through my notes whilst I was listening to the shopping, but I actually don't have their names to hand. That's a shame.
I might.
Oh no, here we are.
No.
Augatory. No, that was in the Sanctum of Sight. Lumberman Eden.
Oh.
Eden. And Militia Sergeant Reg. There we go. Apologies. So Sergeant Reg, cousin of Creed, yes, will confess that he had not actually helped, but actually had been cowed by the threats of Crocus, the shepherd of Shemnar, who herself serves Drania, the Druid of Death, and had sadly, had not done their duty in this regard. And he says, "We will have to send word to Thanley, my own cousin, disgraced, yet still enough honour within him to not hide the truth. This, I hope, will go well for him, or at least be considered in his trial." He was forthcoming with this information, was he not?
Honour came to him at the end.
And he lives?
Yes.
Says Silas begrudgingly. Very well. Well, once again, a further service. Knight Commander. Yes, you shall be rewarded. There will be time to consider what it is that you would have of the Dragon Guard. We are not in the habit of just handing out equipment and weaponry. But if there is anything that you and your company would have or would ask of us, then we would indeed gladly offer service or coin whatever you would ask.
Well, it's funny you say that. What do you know underneath this city?
A dark look passes between Danico and Creed. There has been a great amount of talk about the blight that has the city in its grip. Danico sort of like will cast a look over your shoulder, just not wanting to be conspiratorial, but you can tell that he's clearly been given orders not to act. And he will say, "Our hand is stayed by orders from above. And since the king has passed, we have not received any order to act against it. We have only received decree of those that would come to enforce order on the city, beyond and outside of our control. External factions and forces are due to arrive. External forces that we, shall we say, we do not look kindly upon.
Well, can I speak openly?
You may.
We, present party, researching this as we speak, have seen what lingers beneath this city. And it is a grave threat. Not only that, we are looking into a greater threat. Potentially tied to the death of the king.
Indeed, will come a voice as the door behind you swings open and armoured figures enter at your back.
Oh no. Oh no.
Many grave threats have arisen since the death of the king. And the Watch is here to answer them. Knight Captain Lanka and Knight Captain Fogwill, accompanied by another individual in heavy-set armour, enter. We are here to answer the missive of the first voice. And with a cruel smile, that is where we will leave our session tonight.
Shit. I didn't even... I was
You
trying
don't
to
need
butter him up before
and
I
Dom
asked
next
for
week.
requests.
right. You just you and Mike.
Well, Silastor was attempting to work his way towards requesting some form of access to the tower.
Which you may yet
Tower of the
do.
Elvenkind.
However, when there's something strange in the neighbourhood, who are you going to call?
Who are you gonna call?
The Watcher, the
Watch.
Consul of St. Cuthbert.
Just doesn't.
Oh, my shins
Take the
are trembling.
knees.
Because why would they not? Why would they not answer this this threat to the world?
Are they
There
all
we
just
have
kind
it.
of stretching their cudgels as they walk
Yeah,
in?
they're ready. So, that's it for tonight then. So as ever, as we wrap up, we will ask the players one. Well, actually, I think we'll do what we did last time. Just a brief summary of what we think we might be doing. I think we've already answered that, really, but just a very quick summary of what we might be doing next session. So that is do the loot. We'll do some research into the caller in the darkness. Anything else? Butter up the dragon guard.
Let's convince the Watch to go into the cellar. It's the cellar, fucking hell. The fucking...
The sewers.
Point them at the sewers, yeah. Just be like, go on, off you pop.
Yeah, I think while Silastor's there, he was thinking last minute, like, oh, I could ask the Dragon Guard to give us a hand. But top of his agenda is now he's speaking with them. He was attempting to work towards requesting access to the Tower of Elvenkind,
Yeah.
which he's now going to have to reword.
Yeah, well, you'll be
slightly.
able to, I imagine. You'll still be able to have a conversation with him, but yeah,
Figure it
sadly,
out. Yeah.
it
Well, he's
seems-
trying to work on reputation already. Yeah.
It seems that the first voice has ordered the Watch to the city. That can only be a good thing, right?
I mean, that's a bold move of anyone.
You gotta mean business if you're bringing the Watch into your walls. My goodness. So in that case, then we'll obviously talk about what we want to do next session in the chat as well. Final thoughts before we go. Let's go with Matt first. Final thoughts at the end of this session today.
Oh, it's a tough one. Grin. That's we'll have him one day. We will put him down, and then I will have myself an ogre zombie. Because there's no way he's getting away with that. Yeah, that was so frustrating. But we'll have him, and just racking my brain. Really, we've got to get under the city and past that thing, and I just don't know how we're gonna do it. Very frustrating again, given the whole necromancer thing not being utterly.
It is
Struck
odd
utterly
that you
useless
aren't really
by a-
gifted with anything to help you with the necromancy. It is a bit strange, isn't it?
Well, I mean, that's it, isn't it? I can create my own undead,
Yes.
and I can attack living creatures with the power of undeath. But when it comes to actually fighting powerful undead, you have to be a much higher level than they are to.
Maybe you've got to think of,
Pull it
can
off,
you
so.
bring any, off the top of my head, we won't go into this too much, but maybe something incorporeal. Can you make incorporeal stuff? Can you bring a ghost in?
I can make one incorporeal
All right,
creature
well,
at the moment.
don't spoil it here then. But that was just a curiosity. Maybe we will see.
Yeah,
All right,
I see what
fair
you're getting
enough.
at, but
Fair enough. Okay.
yes, I embrace the challenge. I look forward to.
Yeah, well, that's it, isn't it?
Figuring
Like,
out the
it'll be
puzzle.
all the more rewarding when you get him. I bet. Both Caller in the Darkness and Grin. Ansel, Dom, final thoughts at the end of the session.
Yeah, I want Grin. I want him.
I mean, if he can keep turning, that's the thing. That's the problem. If he can just go into gaseous form whenever he wants. Then
Yeah.
it's the trouble, isn't it?
It is. We'll get him. I'm patient.
Anything else other than Grin?
Well, I mean, stuff that's been ongoing for a while, but particularly today. He just pops up at the most inconvenient times when we're not quite ready for him.
And something to bear in mind: if this day is the day that you will delve down into the sewer, this is the last day of the 2 days of the crescent moon, of the sickle moon for a little while. So
Oh, yeah.
maybe want to think about
Good day
that
to
as
do it.
well. Good day to do it, exactly. And finally, he's been through the ringer. Salasta, risen from the pools of Corellon. Your final thoughts.
Yeah, scared and concerned. That comes with a big debt.
Big time. Big time.
But yeah, that was, I think, warranted considering the amount of money and healing it would have taken
Yep.
with everything that's going on. It was a price I think Silas was willing to pay. But he's now face to face with people he doesn't like being around lots of people, and he's now face to face with the Dragon Guard and the Watch, and he's seen them use a Zone of Truth, and he has a corpse in the bag of holding on his possession. I mean,
You couldn't make it up. Well, we just did.
well, he may not have the bag of holding at this point, but still.
That's true, actually. Bogram and Ansel probably have it because they were on the path to selling, actually. So I think actually they'd have it.
Yeah.
So there's that at least. There's
We
that
didn't even
small,
remove the body, we just kept
small,
it.
Yeah, he's still in there. You didn't say. Yeah. Well, listen. There is something about the priestess of Corellon that makes you think that this was no act of charity. Could probably sense the urgency of your plight, and has seen an endeavour that may be had with you, Silaster, but that will be looked into at another point. Thank you ever so much as ever to my wonderful creative players. Thanks for being good sports and smashing it out of the park as ever. And for those of you watching live and after that, thank you ever so much for watching. If you like this video, you've seen it on YouTube, give it a like. If you'd like to see more like it, then give us a subscribe. And, of course, follow us on Twitch to watch us live. Watch us face the misery of an Ogre Mage live, or the Caller in the Darkness live. We will see what happens next time as you face off against the Watch. Take it easy, and as ever, roll them bones. Take it easy.